Well, that felt like a better time than any to actually transfer over because, you just slammed the shit out of those. What were those anyways?
Pork fry wonton.
Love it. Gotta love it, dude. Well, anyways, hello, everyone. My name is Dan Spence, also known as Spence Out. I was a streamer on Twitch for on and off like 5 or 6 years. I don't even remember. It started back in like 2016. So I did it on and off for about 6, 7, 8 years or whatever it ended up being. As I was a college kid, I had a little bit of followings like that. Had a lot of fun, but we're trying to do this again, but a little bit different this time. Instead of doing something that was focused a little bit more on the actual gaming side, where it's like like playing PUBG, Fortnite, all that stuff like I did kind of back in the day. We're trying something new. So what we're doing is we're going to do a stream, basically going through what would be an entire campaign, and we're trying to do it in a really professional setting. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be the next Critical Role. I don't even think we'll come close to that. But I always say, shoot for the moon, and you might just get the second floor of a building. That's what I say. So, with that being said, I want to welcome everyone. So, we're going to go ahead and start. Actually, kind of doing a little more of an introduction. I'll go ahead and I'll kick us off, and we'll kind of give you guys a breath of what everyone in this group's really about. So, as I was saying, my name's Dan Spence. I am actually a professional game designer. So, I work at Sony PlayStation, designing video games over there for them. When I'm not doing that, though, I really love doing basically like role-playing games, like this kind of stuff. Not so much the playing. I played a little bit. I've told you guys I enjoy playing. But what I really enjoy doing is creating worlds, creating lore, and really kind of creating the experience in the environment. That's why you probably notice we're in something that kind of looks like a tavern. So this is actually an ongoing renovation. But what we're trying to do is kind of get this room to feel as much like a real tavern as we can. That's why we're actually in the channel Millennial Tavern, because we're all a bunch of millennials in here playing one of our favorite role-playing games in a room that's supposed to look like a tavern. It's quite small, I'll say that, but we'll get there maybe. Actually, when we first started, we were literally playing in what would be my kitchen, but my kitchen's kind of like an arcade with pinball machines. So we were all basically sitting on like a 6x10 carpet playing on a table, and we had like 8 people the first time we played. Not the best for the house and everything, but we're going to get better over time. Anyways, all that to say, though, professional game designer, I'm really excited to kind of go through this and teach you guys a little bit about the world that I've created and also how I create encounters and stuff like that. So this will be some of the sessions we'll do in the future. We're not going to get too much into the lore and stuff like that of the world right now. I'll just go ahead and I'll pass it off to you guys. You guys can start doing your introduction. So,
howdy, everybody. My name is Dion. I am the local wizard to this tavern. Not to say that there aren't other wizards per se, but I'm one of them. So a little bit about me. I've been playing role-playing games ever since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And yeah, I'm just here to have a good time with my friends. Kill some dungeons and slay some dragons.
Hell yeah. Hi everyone, my name is Oscar. I am the newest addition to the party. I play Dino Doomclaw, a feisty rambunctious little golden fighter. This isn't my first game of D&D. I've actually been playing it for maybe a year, maybe 2, and also on the side I also DM as well. Still relatively new, but still love playing the game. But by myself, I am just a very overall energetic, geeky kind of guy.
I think that's a criteria for being in this group, buddy.
So, honestly, say I made the cut.
It was a very hard-fought process for this position. And after he came in with an Aussie accent, I was like, he's got to stay for a little bit.
So I want to say I'm very excited. It's been an absolute blast thus far, and looking forward to having much more fun and wacky adventures.
Disclaimer, this isn't going to be session 1. This isn't hardly even session 0. We actually had our official session 0 like 5 months ago, I think. But, but all that to say, it was because, we're kind of trying people out for the group. We want to make sure we have a good core group to do this with. Because, and I'm sure anyone who's played D&D before, if you don't have, the perfect chemistry in the group, then sometimes it could just be a little bit weird. You might have some awkward lulls. But I found, based on this group of dynamic, we really don't have any lulls. And it's pretty much chaos, which I like chaos. So. But awesome. So thank you, Oscar. Let's go off to you, buddy.
All right, what's up, guys? So for those that are on mine, I don't know how many. I got so many freaking chats pulled up and screen. So I'm Delicious Daves. For those that are new, jumping in my channel, hi. We're over here on Millennial Tavern. There should be a timer running every 5 minutes that you'll see
That will give you a link straight over here. If not, otherwise, go ahead and go to Millennial Tavern on Twitch. You'll see this live stream. I'm just pretty much broadcasting his is what I'm doing. The goal is to make this the main D&D site. Just a couple streams in, we'll be converting over. So, I'm new to D&D. Only played like a half a campaign online during COVID. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got on that one. I jumped on this one.
Yeah.
You'll kind of hear a couple inside jokes between us. One is definitely when it comes to class bonfire / campfire, whatever. Maybe I already forgot what it's called.
So a little bit of background, right? So his first time really playing an official character in the campaign, right? He's like, I want to play a spellcaster. I want to be an artificer. I'm like, yeah, bro, I support you 100%. And he's like, I've played a couple times before. And I'm like, I don't want to manhandle him. I don't even want to touch him. It's like, if he's played a couple times and he gets it, he understands it. So I let him pick all of his own spells. He didn't realize that the only actual damaging spell that he picked was bonfire. Or create fire. But
no, it's bonfire.
Create bonfire.
Yeah,
Let's
create
create
bonfire.
bonfire.
But
And so I would kill people with
he would kill people with it.
I would
Did
kill
you
people.
really?
It was the only thing he could do.
Like top of the trees, top of a mountain. So I'd cast bonfire and he couldn't get out. Like he couldn't leave.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was actually so I was doing like rolls back here, so the orc was like stuck in the tree, and like cause like they were raiders. They're like, I'm gonna be up here for a long. He wasn't expecting someone just to light a bonfire in the tree, so he's like situated there, he's trying to take us off. So he kept taking damage because I kept rolling to see if he could like get out, but he didn't get out.
God, you're
So he lit the dream. He got a kill with great bonfire. Okay.
So that being said, that character was Rumlin. Rumlin is no longer with us in the
Rumlin
campaign.
is dead to us.
I've changed over to a character Kai, who is a Water Genasi druid, Circle of the Moon druid. But besides that,
we'll talk more about characters here later.
Yeah,
but,
well, I mean,
a little bit about yourself personally, right?
Sure. I mean, I work in tech. I've been a nerd. Yeah, I mean, I work in IT for a computer software company, right? We're all here. We're all a bunch of nerds at this table, so it's a good group. It'll be fun. I've streamed for probably about 4 years. It's just for fun. That's really it. So go ahead on. Pass it over to you, big boy.
Go ahead, Edar. I mean, Sam. I'm so sorry.
I know. I get it. It's like every other time. I at least definitely from him, it's either Sam or Edar. Like 50.
Yeah, dude, it's a
Coin
even on the golf course.
Oh yeah.
Really?
He was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
100 people throw clubs, and I was like, all right, Edard, just like. But I'm gonna also before I'm gonna be the one monitoring chat, so I'm gonna maintain both chats. So feel free. That's if I'm not paying attention, that's why.
Yes.
I'm paying attention to y'all, not them.
And I will try to also look at the chat periodically. Just know I'm only human. So while I'm trying to run the game and run the statistics and roll dice, you're still in my thoughts and prayers. All right, so Sam, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Sam. I am I'm the barbarian of the group.
In real life and in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's the beard usually.
It's the beard.
Anyways, I've been playing D&D. Really, me and Oscar kind of started out at the same time. And Megan too. Yeah, my lovely wife Megan here. We all started playing D&D at the same time. Pretty much right when COVID hit. We talked about getting into D&D for a long time, but we kind of had some extra time on our hands, so we kind of got into it. So we've been playing D&D for a while. I since then I have grown to be a huge D&D nerd. I love listening to D&D podcasts and creating characters and just going on Hero Forge and just like making random minifigs sometimes. I mean, I don't buy them, but no, I don't have the money for that. But besides D&D, I'm a musician. I am a worship pastor over at our local church. So if I'm not working and I'm not working at church, then I'm usually playing video games or playing D&D. And usually a majority of the time that is with my wife. So we find ways to get our nerdiness out there. Obviously I'm into other stuff. I love Star Wars. I love Marvel comics, no DC comics except for Batman and his whole thing. That's about it. But
Justifiably.
What about the Legos?
I love Legos. That's listen. When you're a guy like me and you're into all the things, You just have to rope Legos
Summarize.
in there. I mean, clearly.
Well, I'll go ahead and I'll interject. I'll stop you from going on a tirade about Legos. So let's go ahead and pass it off to your lovely wife.
By the way, the goal is to get them married in the campaign.
Yeah.
That's not.
It's one of those goals that we never spoke of until recently, apparently. But yes, it would be nice. Right now, their characters aren't in the best place, but they aren't the worst place. It's like
I smack him a lot.
it's like that high school couple that like you watch and like the one guy's a jock and then the girl's like not the head cheerleader but like one of the other cheerleaders and is like kind of upset that she doesn't get all the attention all the time, but you still understand that she gets a lot of the attention because she's attractive.
I don't get
So
that.
they just kind of like they obviously you had a very different high school experience than I did.
We were band kids. So.
Yeah, actually that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Megan, go ahead.
All right. I'm Megan. I'm a dog groomer. That's about it.
Very talkative, I know. All right, so anything else you want to say?
I enjoy gaming, not as much as him. My favorite game is Fallout 4. We have a German Shepherd named Dog Meat, and we also quite enjoy Skyrim and have named our cat Khajiit. So there's that. But yeah, this is my third campaign. So yeah. I don't know what else to say about me.
Awesome. All right, so this is Shiloh. Shiloh is a very integral part of our campaign. Anyone who followed me from my other channel knows that Shiloh is not just a representation of my love of puppies, but also an icon in literally in all of the emotes that I had in my other channel. So Shiloh is going to be hanging out with us, probably licking people's feet and nudging people's toes, but know that every character is a little essence of Shiloh that's resonating through my voice acting and role playing. And I know Dave's trying to get Penny up.
Look, my dog loves shadows and like lights and lasers. She will run around this entire floor.
And there's a lot of shadows
Absolutely.
under this
Like,
table.
it's
Oh yeah.
my stream.
Well,
knows
the
Penny.
candles definitely help with that.
Those
But-
are my stream. There's Penny emotes, so I don't know if we're gonna update those on yours or not, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll probably do like a carryover of Shiloh and Penny because they're kind of they're a dynamic duo. Like after David, just so you guys know a little bit of background. So David actually lives really close to me. Yeah, but as it turns out, our dogs know each other. Not in like the commitment kind of.
I mean,
sense,
Shiloh
but,
tries to hug Penny every time he sees her.
I mean, he gets that from his father though. So I'm kidding. I don't go around just randomly trying to. All right. I'm in a very committed and loving relationship with Shiloh and Kayla. Well, anyways, though. Okay. Ooh, Shiloh, watch out, buddy. All that to say, though, so kind of coming back around. Now, going into the actual meat of what we're talking about here. So a little background on the campaign. So this campaign is going to be taking place in a world that I actually created. In this world, and I'll go ahead and I'll show you some of the maps here. So this world is actually a world called Exrath. Now, Exrath is a continent. So this is a map of it. And if you go ahead and you join the Discord, you'll actually be able to see like all these if you go into the maps. So the actual continent essentially we're playing on is going to be Exrath. The actual plane of existence we're playing on is Genosin. Here we go. Yeah, because he wants to go over there and hang out with somebody else for a little bit. But the actual plane of existence is Genosin. So we'll go into more about how like the god structure works, the afterlife, and things like that. And eventually, if a character ends up dying in our campaign, you guys will get to see firsthand, because I will kick everyone out of the room, you guys will get to see actually what the afterlife and what that process is like. Because I'm not kidding, I've had some players cry kind of going through that experience with their player, kind of not just being judged, but like interacting with the gods and everything like that. So I don't want to spoil it, but when we get there, hopefully we don't. DM never want people to die, but if we do, just know we'll get there. But we'll do another session kind of breaking down a little bit more of the lore and the god structure and stuff like that as well. So the god structure and the gods that I've actually created for this campaign are also in the Discord. So you can go ahead, and there's no command set up yet, but if you go to the homepage and you scroll down, you'll see something right underneath my the DM LinkedIn. You'll see the Discord link, so you can join the community Discord there. So outside of that, though, we're taking place. I've run 2 campaigns in this world. The first campaign took place about 300-ish years earlier than where we are right now. We're about 300 years in the past. So in the actual world itself, it's a little bit more primitive. Not a whole lot is really expanded yet. Expansion is happening rather rapidly. There's now a possibility of different factions coming into war, essentially. So the campaign is actually on the brink of war right now, because there are like the free nations, essentially, and the Imperials. And there's these two parties that are going head to head. The free people actually end up having this thing, and just so you guys know as well, disclaimer: I'm not sexist, not racist, not misogynistic, and all this other stuff that you would end up saying. But there is a lot of this kind of content within the campaign. Just something to understand. Because this is a very old-timey thing, and especially some of the cities that they've been in recently, I know everyone in the campaign can talk about this, especially, it can be very racist towards particular species. There is slavery involved in some of the cities, and it can be rather sexist. So just understand that. That's not me personally, and I kind of expected everyone would understand that, right? Like, when we're in this, we're all role-playing. That's not really who we are. We're playing our characters. So just something to be aware of, and just kind of setting the stage for where we are right now. We're on the brink of war. There's been ships and kind of rumors of things going on, and it's supposed to be happening here in a couple days from where we are right now. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to the players. That way the players can actually tell you a little bit about themselves, and then kind of get us ready to talk about what's happened thus far in the campaign. Because like I said, this isn't session 0 or really session 1. This is like session 10. But we'll go ahead and start, though. Let's start with you.
With me.
Yes.
Okay.
Go in reverse order, so.
I play Elena. This is my minifig.
If you want to give me your video, I can put it to the camera. 'Cause I got a bigger camera, so.
That is Elena. She is a wood elf wizard. Yeah. That's me.
Very, very fancy. Obviously, she has a lot that she really wants to tell you. But she doesn't. So we'll go on to you then.
As I said before, I play Edard Broxel. He's got a thick Russian accent. He's about 7 foot tall. You can probably see there's a little bit of blood all over his body. And his
A little bit.
There's a lot.
I'm pretty sure he uses it as a moisturizer before bed.
Possibly. He lives for it. He's a sort of down to earth barbarian, somewhat, but obviously don't get in his way. He's got a little bit of trauma in his past, but I'm not going to get into that too much because y'all can just watch the campaign and y'all find out. But loves his great axe. He loves to swing that thing around and just do some damage and crush some skulls in every once in a while. So likes to get things just down and dirty into combat. So
Cool. On to you.
Alright, cool. So like I said earlier, I had kind of 2 characters. The first one's not dead. The first one's Rumlin.
He's dead to us.
He might be dead to everybody else, but that's not Rumlin, that's Kai, if you want to switch to the other.
He's dead
Did
to
I
us.
leave? Hello?
Did you leave?
Did I leave Rumlin here?
I
Thought I did.
Yeah.
we actually burned Rumlin.
I was going to say, because he's not
Yeah.
We destroyed
I mean,
it in the fire.
he's probably
bonfire.
somewhere. Yeah. He's in a bonfire somewhere.
Blaze of glory.
Anyways, whatever. Rumlin's that the one he's showing is Kai. That's my Water Genasi Druid. Rumlin is out learning at the Artificer Sanctuary area. Basically, it was an out. I had an out, and I brought in a new character.
Yeah. We had somebody who actually went off into the Marine Corps, and they were essentially the group healer, the only real healer in the group. And because of that, we're like, well, this might be an opportunity to bring in somebody, so we brought in a druid.
So this will be interesting. Again, first real campaign, so we'll see how this goes.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, like I mentioned before, I play he's dead.
All right,
He's
go
so
ahead.
small.
I play
He is, like, I tried to grab him. But
yeah, he's playing the rambunctious Thunder from down under Dino Duclaw. He's a small little goblin fighter. Fairly new to the group. He only just joined the group maybe a day or 2 ago. So still trying to get to know a bit about everyone. It's a little iffy about some people, but nonetheless, he enjoys fighting, stealing, and drinking, and just overall having a good time and a few laughs maybe here and there. So yeah, expect that.
Lots of that. Cool.
Howdy, everybody. My name is Zatu. I'm the local necromantic wizard. I've got tentacles, which are a big part of my role playing. As you guys can probably tell, worked really, really hard on that with our good DM Dan. To make a long story short, is things are not always what they appear to be. I may or may not be somebody else, or I could possibly be Santa Claus. Only time will tell.
Very cool. And it's worth knowing, too. So then when it comes down to people playing different characters in my campaigns, I generally speaking will let somebody play anything. And if somebody wants to go like off the walls and be like super crazy, I'll let them. If they want to play super moderate and just very, very conservative, I'll let them do that as well. But the reason he has tentacles in the back, and we might get into that at some point during the actual campaign, is very different. And there's a lot of things you end up finding in the campaign. Because believe it or not, this is something I love. So when I give people the option to be like, if you want to talk to me about anything and have secrets or whatever, then you can. And then everyone's like, I'm going to be the only person to do it. No, basically everyone in the group is talking to me about their own little secrets and things like that they have running. So just being aware that this kind of stuff is happening. So we're going to have a lot of this unraveling over the course of the campaign. So we might not have a lot right now, but a lot will come in the course of our sessions. And then I guess last thing, just so you guys understand, before we start talking about the actual campaign itself and getting you guys up to speed, before we go into our Christmas special. Can I get the hat really quick?
That wasn't really quick, but
Quick transition.
That was a Christmas special. Before we go into the Christmas special and everything that we end up having, just so you guys know what kind of campaign I run, because I've explained this to all the players. I run what people would call a very Dark Souls-like campaign. Now, what does that mean? That means the encounters are going to be super tough. That means people could potentially die in every encounter. And I put up in these situations the ability for players to have different types of outs, essentially. There might be multiple ways to solve a puzzle, multiple ways to do a fight, or multiple different mini systems that I end up creating, because I am a game designer, I enjoy doing this stuff, to actually interact with the playfield. So just something that you guys should be aware of, and when it actually comes down to the encounters themselves, just know I don't always use the standard stat blocks. So if you guys think like, oh man, they should have killed blah, blah, blah by now, probably a reason for it. Just know that. Give me the benefit of the doubt, guys. So let's go ahead and let the party here kind of get everyone up to speed. So let's go ahead and start with where. Yes, let's go ahead and talk about where we started. No, talk about where we started with the campaign.
Okay.
Our local historian
Unless you want the
barbarian.
new guy. But
So we kind of started off in a little bit of a weird place. Obviously, back then when we started, there was definitely some other players in our group. Dan had already kind of said some people had kind of went off to the military and stuff like that. But so our group has evolved a little bit since from the beginning. But we pretty much started right off at, and you're gonna probably see this city a lot because it's a main big hub of the campaign as of right now, which is the holdout city of Pike.
They don't like it when you call it anything other than
Yeah.
holdout city.
Apparently, if you don't put the holdout city of and then Pike, then the people get pissed off.
It's like a Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
Starting right.
But yeah, so we all kind of started out there in our kind of own little reasons for being there. We eventually kind of had this weird consensus of, for some reason, we're all going to follow the barbarian to find out to get a bounty. I don't know why or how that happened.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I know he took interest in your body.
He took interest in my body, which is really weird.
He's like
It's
the
true.
craftsmanship.
He
The ideal male body.
He just looked at it and he was like, "That's the stone of Michelangelo."
It's like I could sculpt you more.
oh my god, you can grind meat on them.
His character basically wound up following me, and then I don't even remember how you started following.
So she ends up running into Hilda, which is one of the characters.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
So one of the bards essentially at the Bard College, and they kind of went over there to go play a show. The bards went, bards do what bards do. They went and play a show at one of the local taverns.
Yeah. So we wound up getting to one of the local taverns in this city and basically trying to look for information for the Bounty Hunters Guild. Well, I was specifically looking for one person. We kind of thought we found that person and then got into a little kerfuffle, which wound up being basically a test from the guy we were looking for. And then from all that, we kind of sort of got into a group there. And kind of headed out on.
You end up picking up a contract.
Yeah, we picked up our first bounty, and as we were kind of heading out towards that direction, we actually had the opportunity to have a couple of guest players that day as well, which was pretty interesting. which that was what? How many sessions were we in?
I think it was 3 sessions then.
Yeah,
but
so
yeah.
not very long after we'd started the campaign, we had a couple guest players.
Yeah.
Um,
You guys went down the road too. Eventually, when you ended up getting down the road, you ended up you found, what was it? You found Kibo, which ended up being a
Kibo.
traveling merchant that was right outside the
I can't
Slavers
wait till you
district
learn
of Port
that
Out
guy.
City of Pike.
Yeah, Kibo.
Well, so Kibo, when you guys ended up talking to him, he ended up kind of like, you felt like he was kind of like taking you for a ride or anything like that, but he gave you a bunch of really valuable information because the bounty you guys were actually looking for was that of a witch that apparently had been going through the city and severing genitalia. We'll leave it at that. Of younger boys, essentially in the city, to do something. And because of that, a bounty was put on her head, and you guys had picked up that contract from the Bounty Hunters Guild. As you guys end up kind of persuading, or not persuading, moving through the city, you end up kind of passing through. You did persuade. There was a lot of persuading. You persuaded your way through a lot of the guards.
The bard
The bard
persuaded our way through.
Well, also I played that.
You helped a little bit.
there were
This is true.
several of us that played that chair.
Well, during this part, I was very good at playing a ditzy, flirty. Here's my tits. Can I get some?
To be fair, they were goat tits. Also.
This is true. A little bit of hair never hurt no one, right? So all that to say, though, as you guys kind of end up making your way through the city, you end up following Kibo for a little bit. I'll leave it at the fact that you guys kind of pissed off Kibo and said you were going to kidnap him in the night and take his wares. So he decided to leave.
Don't rope us all into that. That was like half
half the group.
Half the group.
Half the group was talking in front of Kibo like, man, we should totally just like kidnap this guy and take all his stuff. They were surprised. Kibo heard that. And
Also,
basically,
most of those people were gone.
but all that to say though, so when they went ahead and they kind of went their own separate ways, Kibo essentially gave them a map. Was not nearly as good as what they would have thought. They ended up kind of following their way over, went and tried to take on another bounty that somebody else in the group had collected. Then they decided, oh, fuck that. That is way too much. And they decided to go and just head back towards the original bounty. You guys ended up eventually getting to the point where you got raided a couple times on the path, but when you ended up getting to the actual the swamp, essentially, you guys want to go ahead and elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, once we really got into the swamp, we ran into a large storm, which was pretty much flooding the swamp to the point where we couldn't walk through it. Got into a bunch of shenanigans with killing some crocodiles and stuff, and
Sea hags also.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then we got into the sea hags later on after killing all the crocodiles
And wolves.
and wolves too. I mean, the entirety of that time, it was pretty much just me just chopping trees down, just to hop from little island to little island.
Because they ended up finding out that basically all the paths in the swamp ended up flooding in this storm. So they were basically kind of hopping over these little like islands that were created, because while they tried kind of walking on the paths were laced with different types of traps, and you can't see them when you're walking in the water. It makes things more difficult. So.
Oh, and then funny note, Rumlin decided to grapple a dead body that was floating in the water and pull it in.
Look,
And then a crocodile just grabs him and pulls him in the water.
I separated from the group, which he does do while we did one-on-one. Basically, I did my own little thing.
No, that was after the fact.
Okay. But it's worth noting though that there will be opportunities for some players in this campaign to have their own one-shots, essentially, where it would be like them and myself just on camera going through a little side activity or event. That might happen if somebody misses the campaign session, or if it's just something where they want to go do something else. So just know that those opportunities do arise for the players.
Yeah. I mean, from that point,
from that point, you guys end up kind of reconvening. I know you went to the tree people, stuff like that. Yeah, ran to the adventures. Yeah.
Yeah, we ran into some adventure. I mean, you can elaborate on that.
Yeah. So I mean, after we got into a bit of shenanigans with a coven of sea hags, we were kind of scouting out to figure out where exactly the witch's abode was, and then we came upon 2 adventurers. Unfortunately, one of them was a bit too far gone, but due to my medical nature, I was able to get him back up and running. At that point, we kind of found out that, hey, these guys were also doing the same thing. They were looking for the witch who was severing those poor little boys' towers and stones. And we found out that shortly after that, Rumlin had come back. He had a tree beard. And shortly after that, we found out that we had walked past the witch's home because there was an illusion there. And then we started to make our merry way down to the witch's home, at which case we found, if I'm not mistaken, we found Dino.
You leave it cracked. That's fine.
Yeah, just leave it cracked.
Didn't didn't we, when we found those two bodies, I don't even think we checked to see if they were alive. I think we literally just started checking their bodies.
Yeah, you guys did. You literally just started checking their bodies, and eventually, I told him, like, I think when he was, like, inspecting one of the bodies, yeah, I told him to roll for medicine. He's like, you realize one of the bodies is alive.
His pulse was faint, but he was still there. That's all that mattered. So yeah, after we got to the witch's home, we found out there were traps, there was magical shenanigans going on. And it got to a certain point where I decided Leroy Jenkins, me being a wizard and all.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect
and
strategy.
I ended up stepping into a trap, at which point, the witch had appeared, and then, yeah, we got into some shenanigans with her. So we went through a short duel with her, and all of a sudden she went poof and disappeared into a cloud of smoke. At which point we were actually able to get into her home. Now, if you can imagine a small little cottage, very similar to like Goldilocks, dare I say, and things were not always as they appear, like I alluded to in the beginning. We ended up finding out that there was a massive cavern and dungeon underneath, and yeah. Then after that, we went ahead and we...
Yeah. So who wants to take over a little bit of the dungeon?
Well, I didn't
Who wants to talk about the dungeon?
I was probably going to gesture.
That's at that point where I joined the party, and then I was also kind of hunting for that said witch as well. Teamed up with these fellow adventurers. We found the cavern, like Dion said, and we ventured forward. At that point, we discovered just a mass labyrinth of this like cavern underneath full of just random people as well as skeletons and other henchmen, I would say, of the witch. After fighting off a lot of baddies, one of our fellow members decided to go off by themselves and just try to combat the witch by themselves.
So I don't think
You
that's
had a
fair.
moment.
I don't think that's it's worth doing. So I got this. Don't worry. I got you.
I was about
So
to say, I'm about
imagine-
to start chiming in.
Imagine this. It's a cold winter's day.
Yeah.
You walk outside. You breathe in a nice smell of fresh air. You're sickened by it, so you kind of smell a bit of blood that's still resting on your arm. Enlightening. Really brings a little bit of into your life. Now, as you go ahead and turn around and start looking, you see an entire slew of bad guys in front of you, and you're like, this is a great morning. So as you go ahead and you take a couple steps forward with your axe, you go to swing, you miss. And then, as it turns out, everyone behind you gets in front of you, blocks you off so you can't get past them, basically forming an impenetrable wall, and then starts slashing. Now, your friends, who are also spellcasters, decide, you know what? I don't need spells. Let me take out my knife. And they get in your way, too. Then you're like, you know what? This is okay, though. Because I know there are bad guys over there, too. So you turn off. You start walking off that way. And as you walk off in that direction, you get to the door, and somebody slams the door in your face. You're like, I could just break this door down. But you keep missing. And then eventually the door ends up opening, and you go inside. You find that the person in there is already on the other side of the room. And you're like, finally, I can get into the room now. You're just barely short. Somebody who has fast movement speed gets in front of you, and then kills the guy before you're actually able to get there. So as you've been running around this entire area trying to get just one little scratch of blood on your axe, you're not able to. So what you end up deciding to do is aimlessly beating one of the dead bodies with your axe until eventually blood splatters against the
it
wall.
wasn't a dead body. I did kill that
Oh,
guy.
you did? Oh, right, I'm sorry.
That was the last guy
you
left.
got the last
and
one.
I
That was the last.
obliterated his body.
It's the one kill he remembers. It's the only kill he got.
I killed him, and then I needlessly probably chopped like 12 more times in his body. I turned him into mincemeat.
And then, unfortunately, as it turns out, he found the key that they needed to get to where the witch was. So, as everyone was looting, he decided, you know what? I haven't hit enough blood recently. So he decides to go off straight to the door where the witch is, opens the door of the witch, and goes and confronts the witch by himself.
Fully enraged still.
He was still
and we
enraged.
are not just talking about in character. Me as Sam was fully enraged. I felt worthless.
It was like 2 hours of combat where he was doing nothing.
Yeah, 100%.
Welcome to the club.
and a quick adjustment to what was said at the beginning of that, because I didn't even get to make a swing at the beginning.
Oh, you did?
I was last on the initiative.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that's
was first in. he got to the door basically. Then my artificer steel defender.
Well, I got in the door, and then we rolled initiative, and then so I was last in the initiative order. So every single person in the party, with the exception of Dino and I think Zatu, just decided I'm going to run in front of the barbarian. And then on top of that, he had a steel defender, which was a whole other body in front of me. So I was like, screw this. It was very annoying.
So let's talk about
annoying.
what happens.
Mom.
Yeah. Let's talk about what happens once you actually face down the witch.
She just texted me that she's watching.
So what happened when you face down the witch?
I was still. I was blinded by my rage.
Yep.
I will say, just as a little hint, a little peek into my character, he is a justice seeker. In a way, that's kind of the reason why he decided to try to take up the career and the lifestyle of a bounty hunter. So not only was Edard fully enraged in that moment because he couldn't slash a single enemy down. Well, not a single enemy, one.
One single enemy.
A single enemy.
A single
the
enemy.
Singular enemy.
Yeah, exactly. But he still knew that this witch was doing terrible things to innocent children, and so he wanted to obliterate this person off the face of the planet and bring justice. So just fueled by rage, he found the key, got in there, and just decided to just head on towards this witch. And unfortunately, that witch
backfired on him. Pretty significant.
The
Cold
witch,
person is a great spell, by the way.
Yeah.
That did not go.
I was pretty much incapacitated immediately, and from there, Dino can talk about his reaction to it.
Yeah, because keep in mind this is how a dungeon was structured, and it just so happens.
As he went in to confront the witch, I saw the whole thing
Through a window.
on
the other side.
On the other side. So I saw this man literally go up to the witch. The witch just walks up to him and just blue sparks just emanate from her hand, just go right up to his chest and just die. And he gets launched across the room, and just seeing this massive man just easily get taken down, I'm just like, oh! In a bit of panic, run down the tower yelling, we gotta go, trying to rally everyone up to go.
Keep in mind, this was a big dungeon, so everyone's on different parts of the dungeon.
Everyone's 100 feet away from it.
It was big. I mean, the dungeon pretty much took up this entire setup right here.
Yeah.
Massive. So yeah, in that case, we went over to the door that was previously locked. At that point,
There was a lot of fighting.
There was a lot of fighting.
Infighting of the group as to what should be done.
Both not in the group, but in the group as well.
Grumlin.
No. There was no fighting on my path. I literally said what I was gonna do.
Yeah, he's like,
and it was
deuces.
Yep. He's I'm going to take a long rest. I'm at 1 HP. I don't have my steel defender. I'm done.
I literally could do nothing.
You guys fucking suck. I'm out of here.
Let's do a short rest. You can get one skill back and then cast Thorn Whip over and over and over and over and over.
But I didn't understand what was happening. Me as a person, I was getting so furious about you just wanting to sit there and not do anything about it. Not realizing that the whole plan the whole time was for you to switch to a new character after this.
Right.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
But I was just so mad. I was like, dude, just go. What are you doing?
Here's the thing, too. He was messaging me in Discord while that was happening.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he was messaging me in Discord guess what I'm doing? I don't know what you're doing.
I thought
The last thing I was thinking about was the fact that this was an out for him to change character.
So the last on that note, because I expected the room to go in and more shit to happen, but it took so I literally sat an entire session doing nothing.
Yeah,
I didn't
that was
say a
your fault.
goddamn thing. That was my choice. That's how
That was his choice, yeah.
It happened.
And I told him that. I was if you really want to do this, just know you're going to be idle basically the entire session. Oh, I know. I'm okay.
I figured I might have been rezzed. I'm brought to life pretty quickly.
Yeah.
No,
Well, so it's worth noting that there were 3 people that were essentially on this ritual that the witch was creating, which I'll let you guys explain. But there was 3 people on the ritual. There was Edard, Kai, and then another person. But all three of them were unconscious on the floor while the witch was performing this ritual. Let's go ahead and kind of skip past this, though, and get to what actually was happening. So when you guys kind of like found your way through the little catacombs and got to where this actual ritual was happening, what happened?
Essentially, we saw the witch in front of this just massive portal being held by just these giant hands, and she was casting this ritual in which we saw.
God, you got like super quiet. You're like,
Can we show the piece that you made for it?
yeah, I could do that. So just so you guys know, I have a lot of 3D printers. So we'll actually, I'll 3D print stuff over the course of us actually
I mean,
streaming.
this was part of it.
And for people who are actually following and subscribers, I'll end up giving stuff away, like 3D prints that I do. I have a resin printer and a PLA printer. So basically, everything you see on the table over there right now actually is 3D printed. But
These
I
are from
3D print
Hero
other stuff as well.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get money for it, but go to heroforge.com. You can make minis, and you know, hey, I don't know, hey, get that plug in there, you know.
So that's the portal that they end up seeing the witch.
This got created yesterday.
But anyway, so yeah, so you saw the portal and everything. So what was happening in the portal?
There's a big swirly thing in the portal.
A big swirly thing.
Big swirly thing.
Those are great descriptors.
Yep. So basically, the witch was casting a ritual, essentially, and this portal ended up kind of opening up, and just you saw like a plethora of colors, just like everything kind of on the chrome spectrum kind of coming out of it, almost like a spectral dust and spectral rays kind of illuminating the entirety of the room, echoing and kind of reverberating against the walls. And you almost felt this awkward presence as you walked into the room, like you were almost like not supposed to be in there, and you actually taking space in the room was almost painful. Sorry, DM moment. All right, so go ahead.
I mean,
I'm
I know
the
at that
DM,
point,
guys.
since my character was incapacitated,
Yeah.
I got to play as Hilda the Bard, so that was fun, you know. I got to,
Oh, yeah.
Do
got
your
to
impression.
so, guys, just why don't we just go in there and help them, like, you know? Just that kind of like
Valley girl.
the little valley
Yeah,
girl,
yeah.
you know. Guys, listen, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that was fun. That was
it was
actually
fun,
it was
yeah.
a little bit of a change of pace. So, but she was, by the time I played that character, she was pretty much out of everything. So I had to resort to using a scimitar the entire time.
Yeah.
So that was fun. You know, playing a spellcaster with no spell slots.
Yeah, it happens.
It's always fun.
Oh, yeah.
So by the way, and I will be doing this when stuff like this pops up and
Yes.
like joins the conversation we're having through chat, right? It says, please tell me that they were singing Chains and Whips excite me while doing all of this.
No, but so this is why we need another bard in the group, because right now we don't have a bard. So here's the thing. Actually, I'll have to show you guys at some point. But I have, I also play guitar and stuff like that. But I also play the lute, and I have this little tiny lute that I would totally play. But I don't want to go grab it right now. Also, I don't want to take the time away from the stream.
That's all right.
But all that to say, another bard in the group would be great, because we could do little sing-alongs. Because I'll tell you what, I did the most prominent rendition
So
of
lose a
killing in the
wizard
name
in
of
Lord?
killing in the name of on the lute for a campaign. This was a long time ago. I can't remember how to play it, but I did it, and it was beautiful. And just know it's fun to make those pop culture references.
So what you're saying is we go into a bar that a bar is playing and we request a song that the DM has to sing.
Well, possibly.
All right, noted.
Sing in an accent. Well, what is that character that you guys ran into? The professional singer?
I have it in my notes. I can't.
I know you have it in your notes.
I can't.
I forced the party to actually remember stuff.
Jewel something?
Jem Langworth.
Gem. I was
Boom.
close.
Good old Jim.
Boom.
Did you just roll a dice and then say the name?
I was about to say everyone went for history, but
No, I'm like, wait, here's what I saw. Here's what I saw. You like pick up the dice.
He's like, oh crap,
Gem.
Oh god.
It's like, oh good, it was a nat 20. I remember. That's not how the dice
I
work.
was gonna ask.
Now,
don't
Dan,
roll a
tell
dice.
me what I remember.
Just like they're
It
infused in your mind.
triggered when I
You had to roll to gain access to your own brain.
Oh god, man.
No.
I can't remember, guys.
Oh my god. All right. Well, so all that to say though, as you guys ended up kind of entering this dungeon and actually fighting the witch, and essentially she was going around just like resurrecting all these corpses. There was like I think there was like 10 undead in there at one point.
Suits of armor too.
Yep, and reanimate armor from a trap that you guys ended up triggering. But you guys basically, the witch was fighting to the death. So let's talk about, the fight obviously was cool. You basically just sat there and were like using everything you had.
Oh, I was going
witch.
full on 1v1.
Full on
oh
1v1
my God,
the
just
witch.
Literally,
She kept running away too.
She kept. I was going after her. Like there was no escaping the wrath of Lil Dino. Lil Dino Duclaw right there. Basically, just seeing like Eddard there, I'm like, well, and being new to the party, Dino basically thought, what a better way to prove himself.
I mean, at that point, you were really the only DPS at that point. I mean, melee. I mean, you kind of had to.
Yeah, I kind of.
You're a spellcaster, but at that point, he was really the only person that should be running up to people and slashing them with swords.
Can we also discuss?
I mean, I had to do it as Hilda because she had no spell slots, but it's.
I also discussed like how like I snuck up on the witch as well,
Going.
literally failing every stealth check.
Yeah,
but
because he was wearing his chainmail. So
I was still wearing my chainmail, so you could hear the of every step.
given though the witch was staying from a very noisy portal, but she also rolled extremely low.
Fair, like
there was a point where like he rolled his advantage. He got like above a 20 or above a 10. Then he rolled a nat 1. And then the witch, with her singular rolled nat 1. It's like, well, I guess we're re-rolling this.
then it happened again.
Yeah.
It was basically like a nether portal for Minecraft.
Yeah.
It was pretty low.
Yeah.
But so all that to say though, so you ended up kind of basically single-handedly taking down the witch as everyone else was kind of distracted with all the other minions and everything like that. What was happening in that portal area? Because there was some really interesting stuff going on. So let's talk about that for a minute.
So basically saw like a large mass come out of the portal at one point.
A black-colored blob, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was a black blob essentially. It was like kind of moving out of the portal and just moving against the ground very slowly and crawling its way out towards those people in that sacrificial block in the middle.
It started moving towards the sacrificial block, and it started to take Eddard.
Yep. It grabbed Eddard and started dragging him in.
And then I noticed that, but I was the only one in that vicinity.
Yep.
I looked around and I see everyone else in the party far off
Like,
in the other room.
you guys were over here, I was over here.
Like a good like 70, 80 feet away from me. So Dino had to face a very difficult choice. Continue fighting the witch or saving Eddard. At that point, he didn't want to let his new team down, so he took aggro off of the witch and started to help Eddard, which at that point his head started to go inside of this very mysterious portal.
And it's also worth noting that Eddard, so during this entire thing, Eddard was actually unconscious. And he was having dreams of his childhood, just as everyone was. But you decided to make a attack essentially at him with one of your extra attacks essentially. You went ahead and hit the ground right next to him super hard, and I'm like, okay, I'll see if that actually like at least wakes him up because he was paralyzed. Let's see if he woke him up. And what did you roll?
Nat 20.
You rolled a nat 20.
Oh yeah.
And that nat 20 meant that Eddard woke up. He was still paralyzed, but he was awake. So when he actually got pulled into that portal, he was awake for a total of the 6 seconds he was in there and got to see a little bit of what was on the other side. I don't know if you want to share that now because I kicked everyone out of the room. And the next time when this happens, everyone else will be kicked out of the room, but you guys and whoever's in the room will get to hear it. Just know that. But I don't know if you want to talk about it now or talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. But he actually got to see what was inside the portal, and he hasn't talked about anyone in the party yet. So
He hasn't talked about much.
Since
this happened.
I did reveal a little bit because you guys tried to like force me into a doctor's appointment. Pretty much.
We basically did.
Yeah,
well, so we'll get to that.
But no, it was talked about a little bit, not
But
super.
yeah, but we'll get into it more later.
Yeah.
But so basically, you guys end up pulling him out, saving him, actually feeding the witch, chopping the head off the witch, getting this new buddy Kai over there, and then heading on your merry way back. As you end up going through, you end up running into an actual celebrity that you guys end up finding out. That was
Jim.
Yep, Jem Linesworth. Now, as you guys end up talking to him, this guy was essentially kind of like a cowboyish accent. As you're talking to him, he's a some kind of a singer, essentially a bard to a degree that essentially travels around, plays shows. But he'd actually been traveling with some merchants, and the merchants were telling you that there were a bunch of warships coming into the bay of the holdout city of Pike. And if you guys actually go into the Discord, you can see where the map is. They were coming through that channel over there, trying to come into the holdout city of Pike. And then as you guys end up kind of moving through, you kind of went back to the holdout city of Pike and ended up claiming your bounty. After you guys claimed the bounty, you end up going back and actually experiencing a couple of interesting things with Edard. So let's talk a little bit about some of these interesting things that happened to Edard over the past 2 days of session.
Well,
yeah, Edard, what's going on?
What's going on?
well,
So this isn't him on the spot, but basically he's been getting extremely nauseous. He's been throwing up.
Vocabulary was deteriorating.
His vocabulary deteriorated.
Wow, he thought he was.
He thought he was talking
everything
normally.
fine besides puking. We're all just like we're saying 3 fucking words, bro, and none of them make a sentence.
It was a fun session for him to roll.
no, I basically went. It was really 2 sessions because the first session of that, I pretty much, my character thought he was speaking normally, but then to everybody else, he was speaking like Tarzan, like, no, me fine, me good,
Skipping a lot of verbs.
just tons
Eight
of,
together, strong.
yeah, exactly, and then
And I was the first one to realize that anything was wrong.
yeah.
Everybody else didn't even it didn't even.
Well, that was really the funny thing
Still
because
weird.
it took a while. At least the first thing that happened, not the throwing up and all that stuff, but the talking like that. I don't know if it was just y'all didn't pick up on it or the character, just in general. I don't know what it was.
He's
but
a barbarian.
Yeah, we just kind of assumed a little
It
bit.
took forever for anyone to say anything.
I realized it right away.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's happening, so I'm just gonna let it happen and see where this goes. Because
So that kind of went into the next session, and then once that wound up stopping, Edward almost went into a split personality, in and out, very quickly. So a majority of the time he would be talking normal, normal, like he used to, and then he would just slip into these very high and primpa, proper English accent, stuff like that, and that people started to catch on to that very quickly, which I'm
Very
happy about,
quickly.
but-
But it's all happening because of something, and nobody really knows what it is.
Yeah.
Even he doesn't know what it is.
all
but
we know is that
something's
he's sick.
happening.
Yeah.
And everyone seems to think that he's sick. Throwing up, talking weird accents.
Yeah.
Everything.
I'm fine, guys. Okay.
Fine.
I'm fine.
So we came up with the devious plan to take him to your little friend that you made.
My good friend Iwu.
Yes, Iwu.
The
Are
apothecary.
you saying it right
Iwu
this
the
time?
apothecary.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Iwu, the dark elf.
It's okay, I
Um,
wrote down the pronunciation.
Oh,
I totally did
Just
too.
think of Patrick Star. Ew.
Like the official like.
Yes.
We're
So basically tricked him into a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, and they were trying to figure out ways that they could get him to go to this doctor's appointment. And they were like, what are things that he likes? They were like, his axe.
Axes.
Axes.
Okay, what
Killing
else?
things.
Elena.
I don't understand. People are just that's half the story right now is people shipping our characters.
Yes.
We're married in real life. Come on.
I'm just the mom of the group. That's the problem.
There's
If
truth to
somebody's
that.
hurt, I help them. And he keeps getting hurt.
Well, so after you guys end up getting his checkup, though, you end up going back to the tavern, and the way it works in this world is the Bounty Hunters Guild essentially operates out of the free lands, and the free lands are lands that are not controlled by the Empire and are actually free to kind of live their own lives and live their own jurisdiction or live under their own jurisdiction. Now, the Imperials are actually coming in, but all of the Bounty Hunters Guilds actually operate out of basically every tavern in the entirety of the Freelands. Now, when they ended up going into this tavern and they ended up essentially performing this, this task essentially of killing the witch, that was something that was very, very difficult for you guys to do. And actually wasn't something you guys were supposed to be able to do easily at all. That was actually something that when you guys ended up going and doing it,
I mean, he's solo.
basically, but you guys did take on all of the bad guys.
There were a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
It would have been. It was.
Yeah. But all that to say, though, there were other actually people who are trying out for the Bounty Hunters Guild that went to perform his task and actually died. And there were a lot of them that ended up doing it. You guys are the only one that came back alive to claim the bounty. with the witch's head. So you guys end up essentially getting inducted into the Bounty Hunters Guild. You guys actually have this token in the Bounty Hunters Guild as well.
That too.
Yep, that one as well. So this one was actually, and I'll let you guys explain this at some time, but this was essentially, because of the work that they did, they ended up getting a symbol of the gods of nature. And this is something they could present essentially in encounters with gods of nature to potentially show that they have the will and essentially the favor of the gods. And this right here is actually the token that they received for the Bounty Hunters Guild. So whenever they go to collect contracts, not at all. But when they go to collect contracts, they can essentially collect contracts by showing that to any barkeep, because the Bounty Hunters Guild operates out of all the taverns in the free world, at least.
And if this breaks in real life, then we lose the favor.
Yes, and that's why they have a satchel.
That's why I'm carrying it like this, because it is very fragile.
Ooh,
Those branches are like
Use it to pick my teeth.
so thin.
But so all that to say, they ended up doing this, and they came up with a name. So what is y'all's name for the party?
The IRS.
The IRS, which we'll talk about what that means at another point. But the actual name of the group is the IRS, and they ended up going back, collecting a new bounty, essentially, that actually was offered up by the Lord for the Bounty Hunters Guild. And they are now off on their way to go and deal with that in the sewers of the city, the holdout city of Pike. Now, we're actually going to be doing our Christmas special now. So, let's go ahead and go into the Christmas special. I got to get on the hat at least for this part, okay? So, where we last left you guys are about to enter the actual sewer system of the city to kind of take out this bounty that the Lord had put up. But the night before session 1, and all through the tavern,
we got drunk. Well, the four of us
Y'all
in
did.
game, not in real life. Did.
A little bit.
But we're going to start the holiday special, guys. The holiday special, here we go. So, the night before session 0, session 1, and all through the tavern, not a creature was stirring, except for you. All of you were actually sleeping in your beds late at night. And as you end up kind of tossing and turning in your beds, you kind of felt some kind of weird tingling in the back of your head. As you all end up kind of rolling over and rolling, you end up hearing what sounds like sleigh bells going off in the back part of your mind. And as you end up kind of hearing this, you end up seeing what looks like kind of a fog and a smog and just a bunch of white just covering your eyes and face. As you end up kind of opening up, you end up seeing what looks like all of the friends of the party standing around what looks like this circle that's surrounded you and just kind of like enveloping you and kind of closing in. As all of you kind of start like pushing against the wall a little bit, the wall breaks, and it seems to break like glass. As it shatters against the ground, you end up seeing that those actually just ice crystals. They begin kind of falling to the ground around you. And as you end up looking up, you end up seeing what is a very, very prominent man standing there, wearing what looks like red robes, has these actual brown fur cuffs around him. He's wearing a very jolly looking hat. That's not white, it's also brown. And as he goes ahead and leans over, showing his bowl full of beer, he looks at you and says, "Oh, what are you doing here?"
What are you doing here? Well, I know I got drunk last night, but why are you guys in the way? Am I dreaming?
Dragon Ale,
Was
some
I
good
dreaming?
stuff.
Good, but
I mean, you drink a lot.
Uh,
And you drink the heavy shit.
yeah.
Silence! I know why you're here.
Good, because we don't.
Please explain.
You're the lucky ones who have been brought into my abode. I'm going to remember that. And now you remember this. The only reason you would have come here is because I have wonderful and marvelous gifts for all of you. You hear his voice get kind of crumbly and a little bit more evil and sinister almost. These gifts are hidden all across. And I don't think any of you will leave here empty-handed. Some of you may seek joy in this, and some of you won't. But look around. What do you see? And as all of you end up kind of turning around and kind of seeing the glare and the fog in the room kind of shifting, you end up seeing that in the course of this, there are actually 6 doors all the way across. Some of them are, actually open. Some of them have doors. Some of them are blocked. Some of them are caves. But as you look across the entirety of the field, you see that there are 6 doors. Each of you will have the opportunity as we go through to enter one of these rooms. If you enter a room, then hope to gods that you make it out alive. If you do, you'll get a gift. If not, I'll be seeing you back here. You will not be allowed to leave until you've collected all of the gifts that I have for you. But just know these gifts are guarded. Some of them by my friends, some of them by my pets, and some of them... Well, I can't remember what the rest of them were guarded by, but I don't think it really matters. Now, go ahead. And just so you guys understand, so just so everyone in the chat knows what's going on, we're doing a white elephant. We're not doing a normal white elephant, though. I created our own version of white elephant, and it's essentially going to work like this. This entire thing is going to be run through combat. All of these characters right over here are going to have to run in the rooms, try to get into the room. They could walk into a room that's already open, but each room is going to have its own puzzle, its own encounter that they have to take on single-handedly, or stealthily get around or solve the puzzle to eventually get the gift and get out. If they end up getting the gift, then that's great. They get out of the room. If not, then they die. They go back to the respawn point. Now, everyone in here has to get a gift, but if somebody wants to steal a gift from somebody else, they can always challenge them to a duel. And if they do, it's a head-to-head combat, fight to the death, to see who gets the gift. Keep in mind, this is all in their dreams, so it's fine if they die, guys. It's fine.
This time.
This time.
If we die, do we respawn with our same amount of health?
Yes. No, I'm
Dual
kidding.
start-
You start at full health. You start at full health.
Dual start at full health?
Yep, everyone's going to start
I'm
at
already
full health.
wearing a hat.
Now, let's go ahead and kick this off. I'm going to go ahead and change music to something more perfect for what it is that we're doing. And I want
Go
everyone
fast.
to go ahead and roll initiative.
First roll of the night.
Do I remember how to do that? Let's go first.
Which dice do I
Are we just
Oh,
passing
no,
this hat
I
around?
don't.
I think so. I think that's probably what we're doing. We're just passing the hat around to let everyone have a chance. All right, so let's go above a 20.
Oh, I know.
Above a 20?
Are we doing it like as our characters so we get the
Yes.
initiative bonus?
Yep.
I suck.
We all know that.
No surprise here.
I possibly have above a 20.
Possibly have a
Possibly.
You have a +3 to your initiative.
Just kidding. I was thinking of my old character.
Okay. So
I got a 19.
19. Anyone have a 19? Okay, so it's a land first. Let's go 15 to 20.
16.
16?
I
Okay.
thought we all just rolled terribly.
All right, going 10 to 15.
11.
What's up, man?
Less than 10.
2.
8.
Jeez.
2!
Oh,
God, that sucks.
Wow.
Shout out to the
Okay.
two.
I rolled a 3 and I have a -1.
Yeah, it's a -1.
You have a -1 to your initiative? Oh, gosh.
That's a bummer.
That sucks.
Guys, is it snowing in your D&D Beyond?
Yes,
It
it does that.
That's
on the
so
phone.
cute.
I've showed you this before.
All right, so
No, it's
first we're
not.
going to go ahead and go with
It's on the
Elena.
phone app.
So,
Alright.
so keep in mind, this is going to work just like combat. So you have your movement speed. You could dash if you could dash as a bonus action, or you could use it as your standard action, or you could interact with an object as your action as well. So some of these things, if you actually look at these, they're actually locked, they're closed, they have something in the way. You can try to break it down or figure it out. But that will cost you an
We're
action.
still
And I'm gonna
using
make you guys
standard
roll.
movement speed.
Standard movement speed. Yep.
So,
All right.
We're all in reindeers.
Floating in our dreams.
So guys, try to think too as to where you actually want to go. Yep. So you guys can move around really quick if you want to kind of see it. I know it's kind of unfortunate because of the way it's set up. It's hard for you guys to see.
There's
okay.
basically a door here, 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 and here.
Well, I'm last. So
See, I didn't even.
Yeah, there's like a metal bar door. This is an open door. This is like a iron cast door. This is like a wooden gate. This has got like stone in front of it, and this one's just open.
Okay, so I guess I'm just going to start walking towards the door.
Okay, which door?
This one.
Okay.
I have 60
No.
30,
30.
Oh,
I think
30.
30 feet
Yeah,
is
30.
standard.
10,
Yeah.
15, 20, 25, 30, 55. And now I would like to cast Firebolt.
You dashed.
Just kidding.
It's okay. So you go ahead and do that. Anything else you want to do in your turn? Okay, go to Dino.
Alright. Just gonna look around, still a little disbelief as to where I'm kind of at. Guess I'm just gonna walk. He's gonna walk over to the
13
first
feet?
door he sees. He's just gonna also as he's walking, just kind of
Just hop over.
yeah, just
Hop,
kind of push.
just hop over.
Yeah, do a little leap, like a frog leap. Kind of look over at the big round man that introduced himself and just says, "Back to the hat." And just 15, 20,
Oh, excuse me.
25, 30.
There we go.
Just, I guess, do the dash action, so I'm just in front of the door.
I'm kind of disappointed that we all didn't start dancing. 3 of us did.
Right? All right. So, going to Zatu. Where are we going?
I would like to go to door number 2. So I'm going to start off on the platform. I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30.
Okay.
Now that I'm at the door, I would like to cast.
Pull it in.
If only. It's not damaged yet, so.
So,
Is the TV going to be too loud?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's all right.
Can the
Kinda-
chat let us know, please, if the
Yes.
TV is too
That's kind of
loud?
the point of
I'd
this.
like
It
to
would be
exi-
great if we knew.
I would like to examine the door.
Okay. Did you use your move? Are you dash or no?
No, just 30 feet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can go ahead and examine the door. So go ahead and roll investigation. Okay. So which door are you looking at? The one directly in front of you, or the one off to this other side?
The one directly in front of me.
Okay.
That one is like openish, by the way.
You said roll investigation?
Yep.
No, I think the TV is fine.
Thanks, Ashley.
I rolled a 5.
Oh, is that Ashley?
5?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're looking through the door, it's actually pretty dark in there initially, but as you kind of were able to see with your night vision, you kind of just see barely through it. You can't really see a back wall, but it looks like almost like there's a way to kind of climb up in there. It's going to be a climb.
Okay, can I tell what material the door is made out of?
There is no door.
Oh, okay. So,
It's just like a ledge,
uses the
essentially.
There's like a ledge as soon as you get into the door.
So I'd like to use my action step, and I'd like to dash, and I'd like to climb. Since I've got tentacles, effectively I can climb at the same speed that I can walk.
Okay. So you're able to get inside the room.
I mean, it doesn't
And as
look
you
hot.
get inside the room, you're able to see that it looks like there is a gator swimming around inside the room. And you see what looks like a rock on the back wall.
Dan loves gators.
Okay. I like to say to myself, man, that gator would make a nice wallet, and then I'd like to pass the turn.
What about boots?
That's a close
Maybe
second,
some
yeah.
boots.
Close second. All right, going to Edard.
Okay.
That's a new character. So.
Yeah, I know, right? Is this like considered like difficult terrain, or can I just walk right through this?
That is terrain that you cannot walk through.
Okay, all right, cool.
It's kind of like they're like you could try to walk through it, but I'll tell you right now that you can kind of see like something kind of invisible, kind of semi-transparent, kind of hovering around.
Okay, all right. So I'm just gonna dash. So 5, 10, 15, 60, and that's it.
Okay. All right. Going to Kai.
I am.
Okay.
30.
Look, I'm multitasking.
And hey, at least it's not 25 anymore.
I'm not gonna be doing. Oh, I got 30 feet. All right, what doors? You're in there. You're in there.
There's a door right here.
Lucky
And then
door
2
number
here.
3.
Does it count if I
5
go
or
right here
6?
or off the platform? Counts as 5.
Yep.
So.
dash
you
and
can.
do
you
60.
can
Well, you just
diagonal
yeah, you can do. You can diagonal. You don't have to like checkerboard it.
I mean, I'm gonna go right in front of this door. Pretty much what
So,
You're dashing.
5, 10.
You can just put it in front.
Okay. All right, so you're right there in front of that door. All right, so first round of combat, going off to you. Now, as you're in that room, so the way it's going to work is now we're going to focus explicitly on you.
Okay.
This is your moment. You don't know how long you have, but let's go. All right, so you see that crocodile, alligator-like thing kind of like surfacing up in the water and like looking at you. As you end up searching across the room, you end up seeing what looks like a stone on the far back end of the wall.
Okay.
And water just all across the base.
I'd like to start off by casting Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
That was me, you know, simply. As I cast Mage Armor, I kind of shout out some mean words at the alligator. Can't wait to turn you into some boots and a wallet.
Nice.
Okay, cool. What do you want to do?
I'd ideally like to kill the alligator.
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to do, right?
Okay. But Mage Armor is in action, so it
Yep.
would be.
So then the gator is going to go ahead and just keep swimming around.
I'm gonna bonk him on the head.
majestically to this music.
Over into that back corner, kind of turning away from you to a degree. Go ahead.
Okay, so I noticed the alligator's in water. I'm kind of casually rubbing my fins on my neck, and as I do so, an idea comes into my mind.
Wait,
I'd like-
fins?
Yeah, I got fins.
Gills.
Gills. Well, no, they're technically fins.
Fins.
Oh, okay.
Learn something new about his character just now.
Absolutely. You guys can't see it because it's hidden below my mask.
Yeah, and
but,
this is a dream, so we don't know if it's even real or not.
Knew
and
about the tentacles, but that was it.
I would like to cast Chromatic Orb
Okay.
in the shape of thunder or lightning.
All right.
I rolled a 24.
Yeah, that's going to hit. That's for sure going to hit.
Alright, let's roll for some damage. I rolled a 4 plus 7, that's 11. 11 plus 6, 17.
17 damage?
Yeah.
Woo! That is going to hurt the croc a lot. Okay. So as the croc ends up kind of being hit off to the side, you're going to see it kind of like belly up against the wall. It just kind of explodes. And you see like kind of the sides of it just start bleeding, just blood all the way across the water.
Okay.
How dare you make me bleed my own blood?
It's bleeding, correct? Or
Really much, yeah.
okay, so at that point I would like to can I see the roof? How far up is the roof?
The roof is probably about 15 feet above you.
Can I jump to see if I can grab out my tentacles and climb across the
How high are you? Or how high? How tall are you?
It depends.
I mean,
I'm 6
we're in
foot.
this dream state, so it's really hot.
Yeah, how much reach do you think you have on your tentacles?
Ooh, I've easily got
This isn't
like
a dream. This is just
I'm
Zatu
6
on a
feet
bad
tall.
trip.
I would say my tentacles are anywhere from 8 to 10 feet long.
Okay, I feel like that's a lot. I feel like that's way too much. Okay, so here's what I'll say. So I don't have to look it up. I'll say you can walk up to the wall. You can start like climbing up the wall. So it'll be like 5 movement speed to get to the wall, 5 movement speed up. And then you can jump from 5 movement speed up the wall the rest of the way.
Okay, to the rock. Or
To the ceiling.
okay, so from the ceiling, I'd like to kind of casually swing over using my tentacles
Okay.
to try to get to the rock.
All right, you're kind of swinging in between stalagmites. So how much movement speed is that going to end up being for you? Stalactites, stalactites.
In total, I've got a total of 20
Just
feet.
in case
movement
there's
speed
any
remaining.
geologists or
So
whatever
are
watching.
you able to get there?
See? 5, 10, 15, 20. I am not.
Okay. So you're like dangling up there in the other room?
Correct.
Okay. Cool. All right, going to the croc. What the croc is going to do here, buddy, is you're going to see him go ahead and turn around and basically just kind of breach and grab something right below it's kind of dangling off the rock. And you're going to end up seeing like a little bit of a shine as it grabs it and starts diving below the water.
Oh.
Not today. No. I'm about to cast my bread and butter spell, Toll of the Dead.
All right.
It's a wisdom save of 14 for the croc.
Nat 20.
Dang it.
It's
Dang
a,
it.
it's a wise crocodile.
So after I whiff my spell, I see it diving down with something in its mouth, and I know that there are presents in here. So I would like to come off the ceiling with my staff and like to bonk it on the head.
Okay. All right. So it's gonna go ahead. So that was your turn, though. So are you gonna drop in during the course of your second turn? Or you're gonna pass over to the alligator.
I would like to drop down during the course of my second turn, and then I'd let the alligator go.
Okay. All right. So then the alligator is gonna go ahead and start kind of diving back and coming right over back here, over next to the door.
Okay.
Come on, ready?
Dogs.
Ready?
Your face.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh my
What was that?
That was
Whip.
terrible. All right, one more time.
Slide on the
Just one
place.
more time.
All right.
One more time.
Go ahead.
So I'd like to about
Oh, that was
face,
close.
and I would like to cast Toll the Dead once again.
I got it.
Okay.
I got the one that fell.
All right. So as you end up casting Toll the Dead, you end up seeing that this thing starts kind of twitching a little bit.
I don't know.
Is it a good twitch or a bad twitch?
It's a good twitch for you. Go ahead and roll.
For damage? Alrighty. I roll a total of 11 damage.
Okay. that's a high damage Toll the Dead. So as this thing ends up kind of like swirling over to the door, you're gonna end up seeing it starts kind of twitching and twitching. Is you're gonna end up seeing it basically it twitches and it just breaks in half, and you see its gut just kind of like start like just coming out. You see like all its intestines and everything just pouring out to the side, and you see the crocodile just keep folding in half, almost like a piece of paper.
Ooh.
And you're gonna see what looks like this kind of shiny thing that's kind of dangling out of its mouth. It looks like it's kind of wrapped in paper.
It catches my eye. I'd like to use my tentacle, and I'd like to go over there and grab it.
Okay. So the second you actually end up making contact with that present, you're going to end up kind of feeling like this kind of joy going around you. This very cool, crisp feeling. Then all of a sudden you're going to end up seeing what looks like a campfire and the jar of hot cocoa. And then as this happens, you end up kind of like holding the present. You feel the inkling to go grab the hot cocoa. And as you go grab it and take a sip, you feel your entire body just go immediately in the warmth as you get teleported out of the room right over there to the pad.
I was really hoping you were going to tell him that it was a mimic.
It's a mimic present.
First present of the
First
night.
present.
There you go.
I get to open it immediately, correct? Shout out to whoever this is. I just want to say excellent presentation.
That was very nice.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Now destroy it.
Here we go.
You know who did it?
Ariel. 100%.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that's nice.
Right.
So I know what I'm going for.
This is
That's
so
really
rad.
nice.
Turn it around.
You'll have to get it out of my cold dead hands, barbarian.
We have way more than enough.
That's the idea.
All right.
Awesome.
So,
Hey, hold. When you should hold it up.
Yeah.
So I can see.
Yeah.
Show
Yeah.
screen.
so right over here, just so everyone can see it, it is a 9-piece whiskey set by Blacksmith.
Blacksmith.
With
Without
2
the
glasses
That's
and
Blicksmith.
6
It's
liquor
Blacksmith.
stones.
Shout out to my good friend.
I
Dina.
guarantee you that he's going to get challenged for this and is going to, I don't know. It's a pretty tight space. I'll see if you can stay away from the barbarian long enough.
Good thing I've got my mage armor casted.
You're gonna need it. So are we allowed at the end if everybody goes into the doors? Are we allowed to fight someone to swap?
Well,
basically?
Santa Claus is the final judge as to who gets the final fight.
Okay.
Oh,
So there's I'll say this. So there's a certain number of fights that Santa Claus will allow over presents and won't allow over presents. You guys don't know
yeah, I was
what it
going to
is,
say, can
but Santa Claus will interject and let you know if he won't let you.
I got you.
Funny
Alright.
story. I was in the town square earlier, and I actually bought some of these off of good old Amazon Prime.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh.
So you don't need it anyway. So.
Well, no, he has the classic set.
I mean, that's a 9-piece set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So going
Yeah, but
into
9-piece probably also talks about the stones that are in there.
6
too.
probably.
Yeah, there's a
but
funny story
going
to
back
this,
in
but I'll get to that later.
we'll go into that later. So going back in the initiative order. So going to Elena.
Okay.
Get it.
I would like to cast firebolts on the door.
Okay. So you go ahead and cast Firebolt against the door. The door is made of wood. You have a pretty good idea that you'll be able to burn this thing down with one really, really good strike. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Ooh, up. I mean, it's a door, so
I understand.
hope you don't.
I mean, we've already established that I need glasses, so
This is true. What we get?
I don't know. I'm like brain farting right now. I
I'm
rolled
wor-
a 5.
if it's that if it's that low, if it's low enough, you have to go check your stats. That always
it's a
worries
10.
me. It's a 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So believe it or not, you hit the door.
Oh yay!
So So as you go ahead and strike the door, you're going to end up seeing like some of the flames actually go through the actual door itself, like you almost missed. But you end up striking the door, and you end up seeing it kind of burns a hole kind of in it and blasts a little bit to the other side. But I need you to roll damage to see if you actually get all the way through.
Do it. There you go.
Yay!
She got it.
6.
A 6. And that ends up being enough to just barely blow a hole through, and as you end up doing that, you're able to kind of like push it out, and then the rest of the door just kind of collapses.
Oh.
Of course.
Lovely.
There you go.
Oh, hey, but
Yes.
you remember what
So
Yes.
as you end up stacking your way and kind of like pushing through the doorway, you're gonna end up seeing that there's actually a little bit of snow falling from the ceiling. You're gonna hear a little
that's
bell
cute.
coming from somewhere in the room. And as you end up kind of like walking in, seeing there's a couple bushes and a little stumps of wood, you're gonna end up hearing that this bell is actually coming from the neck of what looks like a pet owl bear. That seems very, very upset and very hungry.
His eyes. You missed his eyes.
What are you gonna do?
Kill it.
Fireball.
I would like to.
She yells, I found Ted!
No, I'm just going to slowly approach.
Okay, so you slowly went inside the doorway. We'll get to you when we get back to the top of the initiative. Dino, what are you doing?
It's a metal door. Is it like kind of inspect the door? A little
Yeah,
bit?
so you inspect the door, and you can actually kind of barely see through it. And as you end up looking through the door, you're going to end up seeing, looks like 2 pillars and 3 chests standing there in the middle of the room.
That's where it is.
That's the mimic.
Very interesting. Ooh.
Yeah, flatten that up.
Absolutely. Right, I want to check the door to see if it's. I can even just like try
Yeah,
to
you can
even,
see
like,
it.
open it.
Sure, so you can go ahead and you actually kind of grab it, and the door just kind of shakes on you.
Okay. Is there like a?
There's a lock on it.
There's a lock on it. Okay, I'm gonna try to pick the lock, and I take my thieves' tools out, and I try to.
Okay.
jimmy the lock.
Yeah, so go ahead and try to jimmy the lock. So you have advantage then because your thief tools, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a sleight of hand
It's like
for
a
me.
full iron door.
Oh, lovely.
It was, at least that's what it looks like on there.
You're a druid, though, right? You've seen some
So
ants.
14.
Yeah.
14. Okay. So as you go ahead and start kind of like jimmying the lock, it takes you almost a full round of combat, but you end up getting the lock open, and the door just kind of swings open in front of you.
Just-
Get out of there. There we go.
Okay.
It was getting caught.
Keep
on
in
the
mind,
piece.
these are all 3D printed
Yes, these are all 3D.
by
Yeah.
him.
I like props. I'm a game designer. I like experiences a lot. So I will do a lot for the course of the experience. All right, so now having the door open, do you want to go inside or do you want to stay inside?
I want to take a step
Okay.
inside.
We'll get to you at the end of this round of
Yes,
combat. Go into Zatu. Oh, wait, yeah, Zatu. You already have your presence. You're just kind of over there chilling.
Oh,
What do you want to do? Are you
Yeah.
chilling?
Drinking some
You
eggnog with Santa?
Yeah, I want to go next to Santa and say, "What's up, dude?"
Said, dude.
You're going to say, what's up, dude? He's going to look at you and say,
I want his hat.
I'm unfamiliar with these words.
I'm sorry, I'm not from here, as my tentacles were. Where is the Christmas cider, my good sir?
right here. And you're going to end up seeing him kind of take out what looks like a flash from inside his jacket. You're going to see him go ahead and just kind of like gesture a little bit. You see like a giant mug just kind of like form in front of your hands. It's a pretty big mug. Like I'm talking like it's a both hands kind of mug. As he just kind of pours a little bit out of his flask, you just see it just endlessly pouring out of his flask for you.
Say thank you, good sir, and I go to sip, and as I sip, initiative passes.
Going on to next person to wear the hat. All right. Inard. What are we doing?
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna keep on dashing.
Keep on dashing.
5,
Dashing
10,
through the
15,
snow.
20, 30, 40, 50, 55. Ooh, I just got there. Cool. So I get to just,
Oh, you're going to like that room, man.
Yeah. All right.
Can we open it?
Ooh.
Is it all of it, or it's just?
Ooh.
Merry Christmas, Edard. So as you end up kind of like barely looking inside the room, you're gonna end up smelling a little bit of what is like a burning campfire or something. As you end up kind of poking your head inside, you're gonna see what looks like a couple of goblins over there. One of them is actually staying next to a table, and the other one seems to be roasting s'mores with a fireplace, just kind of sitting there jolly and just kind of moving back and forth, just kind of like dancing a little bit almost, roasting marshmallows.
Okay. So then I'm going to so I'll just get inside the door.
Okay, we'll get to you in the round of combat.
Yep.
All right, going to Kai.
All right. I'm gonna see if the door's unlocked first.
Okay, so you're gonna go over there and start to kind of like interact with the door.
Yeah.
So as you go like touch the door, you're actually going to see the door just straight up opens.
Nice.
That was easy.
What the?
Get it.
Oh. Shenanigans.
Oh,
snap.
Jesus.
Shenanigans.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't realize we'd get a beholder this early on in the campaign.
It's not a beholder.
Oh,
It's a specter.
Oh, okay.
The Ghost of Christmas Past.
There's a lot of
Oh, a spectator.
Spectator.
a
Sorry.
lot less eyes.
Okay, there's a lot of. What can I see?
That's what you can. You literally see a bookshelf and a bunch of boxes stacked in front of you.
Is there a way that I can walk past it or no?
You could walk into the room. Once you walk into the room, you're committed to the room, and then we'll get to you in the next round of combat.
Oh, I'm going in the room.
Okay, so you're committed to the room.
Yep.
All right. Now going to the top of the initiative order. Elena, focusing on you. Edard, we'll get to you later.
Okay. I would like to just kind of.
So you're actually staying next to the door. So.
I would like to just kind of get a feel for the owlbear, see what kind of mood they're in.
So as you're kind of looking around and you end up kind of seeing the owlbear, you see the owlbear's just kind of like, so you're doing that as an action, you're just kind of doing it as
Passive.
passive. So go ahead and roll for perception.
My worst.
So
And then I want you to roll.
it doesn't count unless it's
after that.
20.
It was a 19.
Doesn't count.
It does count.
Does not count.
Gotta be on the table unless it's 20. 17.
17
That's not bad. There you go.
minus 2, so 15.
Okay, roll an animal handling too. Or not animal handling, sorry. Nature.
14.
Okay, so as you end up kind of like standing in that room and feeling the snow kind of falling across everywhere, you're going to end up seeing the footprints you're saying and end up being pretty deep and full. And you're going to end up seeing this owlbear as it looks like it's kind of like looking around. And you see like what looks like a hunger in its eyes. It seems like this thing is starving.
Okay. I would like to reach into my pack and pull out a day's worth of rations. I believe I had some apples.
Let's see. Did you have apples?
I don't think I put. I think I just put it in here as a ration. I don't think I actually saved
Mom
apples.
says she dropped in for a minute to check it out.
I'm pretty sure you did have apples.
Yeah. Okay. So I would like to just like grab one and gently roll it towards, like not as an attack.
In the snow? You're going to roll it on the ground in the snow. I'm going to explain to you how snow works, okay?
Okay, I'm a Floridian through and through.
once.
Okay.
You're going to have a nice little apple-sized hole in front of you.
Okay. I would like to then, in that case, just slowly walk towards the owlbear with my apple, like presented as like an offering.
Okay,
Like,
roll performance. And then roll stealth for me.
all right.
There's a
So
lot in there.
that is a 17 for performance and a 5 for stealth.
Okay. So as you end up kind of like
I know
walking
you
through,
won't
you're
say
going to end up seeing that the owlbear immediately turns around and kind of starts like snarling at you a little bit. You're like,
You alright?
Hello?
You okay?
I need another White Claw is what I need. Or something. Holy shit. All right. So anyway, so the bear goes ahead and turns around, looks at you. As it kind of like stares at you, it's going to end up kind of looking at you almost curious.
Ted?
Just keep staring at you.
Ted, is that you?
And you're going to see the owlbear is going to start like taking a couple of steps towards you. You're gonna see him kind of start like pulling out his chest a little bit more, and he tries to stand more prominent, almost he's trying to assert himself.
Okay, Elena is
So
definitely.
you moved a couple steps closer.
Yes.
How many steps?
Probably like. Elena is definitely the epitome of every white woman ever, thinking that I can just approach any animal without anything bad happening to me.
Makes sense.
So at this point, I have no fear. Like
Okay.
I'm I'm chilling.
All right. Cool.
Kitty.
All right. So as that ends up happening, and you end up staying there, kind of holding the apple, like really joyfully, just looking up at this owlbear, you're gonna end up seeing as he gets up on two legs and comes down with a massive swipe. So yeah.
Apple?
Is good.
All right. So that is going to be a. It's going to be a should hit. That's going to be a 25 to hit.
That hits.
All right, and that is going to be a 10 piercing damage as he comes down at you with the claws, or slashing damage rather. And then that is going to be a 15 to hit.
Hits.
And then that is going to be that's wrong dice. And that is going to be a total of no, so that's going to be 7. So that is going to be a total of 17 slashing damage.
I'm dead.
All right. So as you're sitting there looking at the owlbear holding your singular apple, you're going to end up being like, Ted, baby, we're so glad to see you. And you get like headbutted by the beak, and everything just goes black, and you hear like just like oh, 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 oh.
And I just
As you end up teleporting back to the center of the town.
flipping through the air.
And you end up looking up the side as it looks like there's like a kind of an end of a flask being poured. This is my favorite time of year. As he stops pouring the flask, and you end up kind of coming to.
You can
Tattoo.
keep the hat. It
Howdy.
was for you.
Pretty sure I just saw Ted.
I don't think Ted would bite you.
He's attached to you. He doesn't know me like that. Remember, he imprinted on you. Maybe you can go talk to him.
We'll see.
I thought you wanted to see him again.
I don't know. I feel like Ted wouldn't grow that quickly. It seems like out of character for him.
The owl bear that you met for one day.
Yeah, we just connected.
He imprinted on him. Come on. All right, so going to Dino. All right, Dino. So you're standing there and you're walking in the doorway. You end up actually realizing that the door behind you immediately closes. And as it closes, you're going to end up seeing that the door is actually kind of moving towards you and pushing you into the room.
Oh, okay. All right. I get the gist of it. I know when I'm not wanted. I guess I just walk through.
Oh, you have her chest in there?
3 chests.
Yeah, and I just walk towards the 3 chests.
Okay.
Right here. Is it still moving towards me?
It's still moving, yep.
Okay, crushed.
How fast is it moving? Like
It's moving pretty slow.
moving pretty slow. Okay. So
You have the 3 chests there, though.
okay. I see. And choice is my worst enemy. All right. Well, eeny, miny, this one. He goes for the center one.
Going for the center one?
Huh?
Uh-oh.
All right. So as you end up reaching into the center one, you're going to end up kind of grabbing it, kind of digging your claws in barely. As you end up kind of starting to open it, you're going to feel it fight you a little bit. And as you end up opening it up the rest of the way,
Come on, you cheeky little.
you're going to end up seeing what looks like a bunch of pink stuffing holding a present.
Oh, well,
You guessed right.
Well, at least you know you're not going to get yours.
Oh, that's very nice.
Ooh.
It's an IOU.
What? This is what's in his little buggy.
You got one, didn't you?
Yeah,
That
how's
is
it
it.
going?
Okay. Oh, that's the one you got.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
He just 3D printed something for you. I wouldn't mind.
I'm not that cheap. Come
It's
on.
actually stuff
I
for
actually
his
would
3D
not.
printer.
Yeah.
So you can give it back to
Oh
him.
my god, you
Hey, that's
shouldn't
my extra
have.
part. There it is. That's what I ordered.
He 3D printed a big middle finger.
Ooh.
Got it.
Ooh.
I love it.
It's a mini chalice that could go on your desk, but also works as a lovely shot glass.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And it has gemstones in it.
Are they
Wants to
real?
show
Because
us
if they're
the
not, it's trash.
It's
yes.
it's handmade. It's handmade.
There you go. That's cool.
Craftsmanship
Oh, that is
right
really
there.
pretty.
Cool.
Yeah, it has all flowers on it
You're
and
really
everything.
pretty.
Aww.
Ed,
Guys, save it for off
and
camera.
That was Sam, not Edo.
You didn't state that before you did it.
Listen,
Or was it?
there's two different voices.
I know, you got 4.
All right.
apparently.
So as you end up kind of grabbing that, you're gonna end up seeing what looks like a shot glass just kind of spiraling in front of you as you seem like you're falling in this room as it seems to kind of like just envelop on you. And as you're kind of like stumbling to kind of grab this shot glass, you're gonna end up grabbing it, and then you're gonna end up seeing it just get full high and full of eggnog. And as you end up grabbing it, you're gonna see this is actually my size. As you end up taking a full chug of this eggnog all the way through and getting teleported back to the starting point. Right over there next to your good old friend.
Oh. Well, hi, everybody.
Hey, Goblin, I couldn't help but notice something shiny in your paws.
If it's perfectly in my hands.
It really does. It looks very, very nice.
Oh, thank you. Hold on a minute. Big fella. Is there a flask I see in your hands? just keep that. Just keep it. Yes.
No, we're doing good.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Why,
We're doing
yes, it is.
Oh, shit, be a tad of it with me. That's like, fair, you all have.
You see him pouring it. It seems to like go like all over your hands too, as it kind of like barely fills the chalice.
Okay. Cheers, mate. Just down the hatch.
Like a cleaner.
Oh, clean.
Your turn. All right. Going to Edward.
Okay. So I am just going to go straight into a frenzied rage.
How many guys you gotta play?
That's okay. Don't even worry about me. Okay.
Didn't bother to ask.
No, I'm just coming in. Just coming in.
All right.
And I am going to take a reckless attack on this guy.
All right.
That's
Not
going
Santa's
to be an 18 plus 7, so I assume that hits.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hit.
Actually,
How's
18.
it
18. No, what?
Oh,
No,
I
plus
was
6. 18 plus 6. 18 plus. It was 7, but then because of stupid shenanigans, now it's a plus 6. So that hits. And then that is going to be a d12. But, oh, man, that sucks. 4, 5, 6, and then it's 8 damage to that goblin.
8 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you end up kind of like just walking in this room, you're gonna end up seeing what is like this goblin just kind of like sitting there, just kind of like hatfully, just like trolling back and forth. Has a little like marshmallow over the campfire, just kind of like just shaking back and forth, having a good old time. He's just. And then as you get really close, you actually hear him kind of humming to himself, like. And you just straight decapitate him. Woo! And he's just dead immediately. As that ends up happening, you're going to end up seeing this other one that's sitting over there next to the table, kind of eating something, immediately just like drop him and point at you.
Do you guys have
Anything else you want to do on your turn?
How much? That was only 5 feet. So, I'm just going to use movement 5, 10, 15, 20, and I'm just going to go right about there. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. So as you end up going all the way over there, you're going to end up seeing that goblin just like comes at you as hard as he possibly can with this little scimitar. and that's going to end up being a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That is going to be a total of 5 slashing damage.
So half that?
Yep.
Yeah, 2.5.
Yep.
3?
I think you round up, right?
Well, it's up to you, really.
Just do 3. So then, as that happens, you're going to end up seeing the little goblin immediately kind of like push over the table towards you as he kind of tries like running around you. He's not going to do it very well. You're still going to get an opportunity attack.
Okay. So he just pushes over the table.
Yep. Okay. Tries to push it towards you and tries to run
I'm
away.
gonna go ahead and attack him. Reckless attack. That is what? Oh, okay. That's gonna be a 9. 15 to hit.
15 to hit.
Yeah.
15's definitely going to hit.
Okay. And then it's going to be come on. A 2 again. Jesus. 2, 4, 6, 8 damage.
8 damage.
2 gets 8.
All right. So as you end up doing that, you're gonna basically end up taking off all the skin on his arm and down his leg as he kind of keeps hobbling away, and you're just gonna see a blood trail just leading behind him, and it seems to be just kind of like laying across the entirety of the ground.
Okay.
Go. All right. Now going to those guys. So,
My turn.
Yeah.
Right.
all right, you're going to end up seeing this one come over here and jump up top. And he's going to go ahead and attack his short bow. I'm just going to go ahead and move this guy over here.
Mine half cover
Yeah, you will.
or full cover. I mean, I'm like.
It'd be half cover. He's going to move to the edge, so.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
So if I'm in half, does that change my AC if I'm in half cover?
yeah, I think it gives you a +2.
+2. Okay.
Or it's plus. I think it's +2 for half cover.
Okay.
So short bow to hit is going to be a 17.
Yeah, it just hits.
Just hits.
Well, not just, but a little over just.
Okay. And then you're gonna end up seeing. Oh, that's max damage. So you're gonna end up seeing as he kind of like pulls off and shoots his little bow like barely as he's leaning against the wall. It ends up coming through and going right through your thigh, and it's enough to annoy you and piss you off. As it ends up being 8 damage.
8 damage, so 4.
Yes. All right, going to the orc. So the orc over there in the back is gonna end up basically just pulling a javelin straight out of his back and moving back over against the wall, as well as kind of leaning against the wall and just trying to vault this javelin as hard as he can, as he ends up screaming something in Orcish at you.
What's he say?
Do you speak Orcish?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
You end up saying, "It's the Grinch!"
You ruined their Christmas!
I didn't know you spoke Orcish. So that's going to end up being a 15 to hit.
Dang, it just hits.
15? Okay.
It just hits.
All right. So that is going to be.
Stop that.
It's going to be 5 piercing damage as this javelin comes through and kind of like scrapes a little bit of your abs.
Say 5?
Yeah, 5. It ends up scraping a little bit of your abs as the javelin ends up falling off on the ground next to you. All right. Going back to you.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if it matters. I forgot. When I do slashing damage to an enemy, it reduces their speed by 10.
Oh, okay. So he wouldn't have gotten that far, though.
So then all the stuff that just happened.
He would have probably only gotten there then.
Okay, my turn now?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20 right there. And then I'm going to slash down on this guy with a reckless attack.
If you see us staring at the floor, we're playing with
That
Penny.
is 18 plus 6. I assume that hits.
That's going to hit, yeah.
That's going to
That's
hit.
a big hit.
Yeah. All right.
So weird. I like
A 2 again. All right, I'm not using this dice anymore. So that's 8 damage.
8 damage.
Yeah.
So as you end up kind of like running behind this guy, as he's kind of like just like hobbling away, you're gonna end up seeing that he's holding something in his hand. As he ends up kind of like turning, as you're like shadowing over him, you're gonna end up seeing that there is like this little gingerbread cookie that's like half ate in his hand. As you go ahead, and you just like you don't even like think about it. You just kind of like wall uppercut and basically just chop off the entirety of his arm. And in that force, you end up basically chopping his entire body up into the air as he collapses in the ground and just begins to span the pool of blood.
I'd say before I do that, I'd take the cookie from his hand and eat it.
I'm gonna make you roll for that.
Okay. That's
All right,
fine.
let's go.
I
Slide,
kill
let's
him
go sleight of
regardless,
hand.
so-
Let's go sleight of hand.
Ooh, that's a 16 plus.
Yeah, it's gonna just get. So as you end up kind of going with this uppercut, you're gonna end up having 2 motions. You're gonna end up having the uppercut of the blade and the down cut of your hand, stealing the cookie from his hand and coming straight directly up as you end up chopping off his arm.
All I see is that scene from Monster House and the kid going back. Oh.
Does the gingerbread cookie give me health?
The gingerbread cookie doesn't give you health, but I'll let you go ahead and eat it though, and you end up eating it, and it tastes really good. Like it was fresh cooked.
Does it have chocolate on it
It doesn't have chocolate.
Okay. All right, and then so
They're
how much was that?
goblins.
That was
They're not
5,
that
10,
fancy.
15, 20.
Alright. Well, I mean,
There's a lady at our church that makes the best
He's
gingerbread
dead,
cookies.
Yeah,
She
well,
dips them
he's
in
dead. Yeah,
chocolate.
I can get rid of him.
They're so good.
And then another token. That was 5, 10, 15. So I'm gonna just move back here. That's great. 25. And then I can't. Oh, I can. I'm gonna make a javelin attack against that one.
Okay.
Reckless attack. It's a 12 to hit.
12. I don't think that hits actually.
I think it does.
12 doesn't hit.
Dang it. Okay.
no, it doesn't.
All right, so I threw the javelin.
Okay.
And then...
The javelin's going to end up kind of scraping against the wall, making a horrendous sound.
Okay. All right, and then that will be my turn.
Okay. Now going to the other goblin. You're going to end up seeing this goblin kind of like petrified at what happens. You're going to end up seeing him kind of pull back his short bow and make another attack. That's a nat 20.
God dang it, man.
That is going to end up being a 6 slashing damage.
All right, so
or not slashing, piercing damage. And then the orc is going to go ahead and do the same thing again, just throwing their javelin right at you.
Okay.
That's going to be a 14.
Just,
14 hits?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because you're not behind cover anymore.
no.
So that is going to end up being... I've got to pull your stat block again. That is going to end up being a total of 8 piercing damage, and then their javelin comes in. All right, going back to you.
Okay. Oh, wait. Sorry. 4. And then okay. All right, so then I'm going to go over here. If I'm here, can I reach him with an attack?
I would say yes, because that's gonna be about like 10 feet up.
Okay.
So I think you'd be, or sorry, less than 10 feet up, so you should be able to swipe on
Okay, and then would that also give me half cover, possibly?
it.
For
Not.
one of them, like the orc, if he's right there.
Oh yeah, that would give you half cover.
Okay. All right. So then I am going to slash up at the goblin, and that's going to be. One of those was in that one. Thank God I did it reckless. 17 plus 6.
17 plus 6.
Yeah.
He's going to hit.
And then there we go. 7. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 points of damage.
19 points of damage. So as you end up kind of coming through, you're going to end up basically just chopping the entirety of its legs off in one fell swoop as it kind of falls on top of you.
Alrighty. And then from there,
Assuming it's dead.
It's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
From there, I'm going to hop up here, and then I will take my bonus action attack against the orc.
That counts.
That counts? Okay, it was a 10.
Okay.
And then a 7. So that would be 16.
16. 16 on the orc. That hits.
Come on. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Ooh, another 7. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of damage.
Okay. So as you end up doing that, you're gonna end up having this axe basically come down straight on the center of its chest. As you end up kind of pinning it against the back, you end up seeing it kind of like grab a little bit of the axe and start pulling it out, like just a little bit as it kind of leans back into you.
Okay. And then that will be my turn.
Okay. So you're gonna end up seeing as he kind of grabs off to a side and takes his great axe and just starts walloping it all the way across. That's gonna end up being an 18 to hit.
Dang it, yes.
And that's gonna end up being
lower.
oh wait, wrong dice.
Oh.
I roll a d6. It's not a d6. There we go. So that is a 9 plus 3, 11.
Oh,
No,
does
12.
Not hit. Does not hit.
12 damage? No, that's damage.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
That's
Okay.
No, 12 damage.
12 damage. So then that's. Okay.
Okay.
Half everything?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
'cause
he
I'm
rages.
Oh.
Yeah, he rages. All right, so after he does that, you're gonna end up seeing him kind of like kind of putting the axe off to the side as he kind of like holds it near his chest, like dripping blood, just heavy panting, and then saying, "In the holidays, why?"
Okay.
What a dick.
Oh wait, wrong dice.
Could've just
Wrong
asked for the
dice.
Yeah, wrong
present.
dice.
Just joined a very fun.
Well, give me. Dang it. I was looking for. That's a 15 plus 6, so 21.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
Sweet. Going to be. Come on, give me a 12. 2 again. Come on.
Shout out to the two.
Or 8 points of damage for the first attack.
8 points of damage.
Yep.
Okay. Then as you end up kind of doing that, you're just gonna basically come through again through the center of the chest. As you end up kind of like coming up and up through a little bit of his shoulder, as he just collapses off there off of the actual chair, or not chair, the rock. And as you end up doing that and kind of like walk over closer to him, you're gonna end up seeing what looks like a little glow coming behind the rock. And as you end up like kind of going around the corner, you're gonna end up seeing it was this very large Christmas tree, just standing off in the side with these little candles that are scattered across the tree with what looks like little things that are made out of paper mache decorated across the different aspects of the tree. And you're gonna end up seeing what looks like one present there at the base.
Okay. So the tree's in my way, so I hop it down.
Okay.
Oh,
So as you end up walking up to the tree,
Listen, I gotta make this the best I can. So.
you end up just like coming through and just walloping the tree, just like repeatedly taking everything. You're gonna see like cookie crumbs falling from the tree. You're gonna see like the little candles on there fall off and they start catching the ground on fire. And as it happens, you're gonna see the fire begin consuming a little bit of the cave as you end up kind of like just standing there and just.
This feels right.
This is
Smells
Christmas to me.
This was good day. This is how we do in Motherland.
As you end up picking up a present.
Ooh,
that's
shiny.
Oh, it's heavy too. Uh-oh. Alright, see what we got.
You'll like this.
Yeah. Oh, chipper.
You guys were
Oh.
close to what you guys were guessing.
Oh, you got one of those things?
There
Nice.
we go. It's like what is it?
Skee ball.
No, not skee ball. I can't
Cornhole?
think of
Cornhole.
Yeah, cornhole,
Cornhole.
but for like golf. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That's cool.
You want to show that off in there?
Oh, I absolutely will.
There we go.
It is cornhole, but for chipping.
Chippo.
Be darn shame if something happened
That's
to our
pretty
poor
cool.
barbarian.
To let the stream know also, like, I would say 70-80% of this like group plays golf.
Yeah.
Like,
A lot.
so
Why don't you share what
We
you
need
got
you on
for
the course.
Christmas?
It'd be terrible.
Yeah, I got a brand new set of golf clubs.
Yes.
Life is amazing.
Yes, of course, of course.
Alrighty.
All right.
I was
So-
trying so hard
So-
to tell you to shut the fuck up.
So
I'm
as you,
sending me shit because she's messaging me over here.
Oh, I knew. She told me the whole
She's
convoluted
messaging-
story.
You're sending me like, hey, how's this set? Hey, how's this set? I said dog shit every single time. I said you're going down backwards, even though the one she got you was actually a good set.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, it's such a nice, but she had already messaged me like, hey, can you persuade him not to buy anything until after Christmas because I'm going to buy him a set of clubs. I said, okay, cool. And I said, hey, man, just wait till after Christmas because you'll probably get a good sale because golf clubs are a present normally for a lot of people, especially in Florida.
Yeah.
Like literally, I was like, "Hey, can you try to get him to not buy them?" And 2 seconds later, Sam's like, "Yeah, David just said I should probably wait until after Christmas." Like literally 2 seconds.
And then he's like, "Hey, I got this set for free," and she's like, "Oh shit, there goes my idea." And I'm like, "No, buy that. Yours are a lot better. His are like a lot older." Like,
Yeah.
Just
Definitely. Well, anyway, so let's get back to it then. So going to Kai.
all right.
Oh wait. By the way, since I got finished with that, do I just get all my health back and stuff?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. So only if you die.
Yep. Only if you die.
So I am back to health then.
Yes, you are back.
Back to
Hey.
Back to hell.
Back to health.
All right, so I'm committed.
Oh, by the way, like just for like the setting wise, when we're in here, are we basically isolated, or they can actually hear everything that's going on?
They're
in the
isolated.
rooms? Okay, so
Yeah.
they wouldn't even.
Yeah, they would have no idea what's going on.
You see the barbarian come back. Is that a javelin in his thigh?
It's in the bone.
Find
His hair just starts to curl.
on to them, mate.
Well, I killed what was this, 3 or 4 goblins and some jerk off orc. But I got this ball stick game.
Ah!
Yes, what happened to you guys?
Found a goblet.
Oh,
It's my
that's-
hands pretty good.
That's good for you.
I-
Hey man, fill me up again!
I found Ted and he killed me.
You found dead.
Well, it's an owlbear. I'm pretty sure it's Ted. It looked like him in the
Well,
eyes.
clearly it did not kill you. You were here.
No, I died and then I just teleported. I was like swooping through the air and then now I'm back.
Just want to have a dream, ain't it?
Okay.
Damn.
All right, so going to
You asked what happened and I told you.
That's fun.
Like, stream. Do you want to allow that or not?
I don't know who that is. Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I know who that is. That's
No,
fine.
okay.
Yeah, I know who that is. So,
Okay.
I have no idea
yeah.
what's
What's up, dude? All right, so going to you though.
Okay.
So you end up walking into that room and you end up seeing across the room, or what you end up hearing almost kind of like a little bit of like a fumbling through a couple little things as you end up kind of like barely passing your head around the edge of the actual crates and seeing this room is just chock full of random debris and boxes.
Nice. Okay, so I'm, do I see that?
Yep, you see what looks like this singular eyeball, which is kind of a little bit of a face with multiple tentacles with additional eye just kind of standing there.
Okay. I have to research this real quick. That's what I want to do. Maybe.
What's hiding for Christmas? Honey, come here. We will give you attention if you come out
I'll
from
share
under the
something on the
table.
side of your face right there. Yep, there you go, you got it.
I think it was
Look like
from
a piece
the
of
hat.
fuzz or something.
Yeah,
Right,
actually.
so I want to kind of like move. Can I squeeze through?
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can squeeze through.
You're too fat.
So I want to squeeze through and kind of make my way a little closer, like quietly, being a little sneaky. Like, I mean,
Okay,
does this
so roll
person-
stealth.
Yeah, does this person know I'm there? or
Yeah, roll
they-
stealth. Roll stealth.
Shadow's downstairs running around probably.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, here, do you want these back since I obliterated them?
Oh, no, you're fine. You can leave them over there for now.
That'd be a 0. A nat 1 minus 1.
Perfect. So you're gonna end up seeing it's like the floating spectator just kind of immediately turns over to you and says, "Hello there.
Hello.
How are you doing this fine evening?"
Good. How are you?
Very good. Are you looking for something? Can I help you?
I am. Are there any presents or gifts around?
Oh, there are plenty presents and gifts around.
You guarding them, or are you passing them out?
I have plenty of them. They're all in this room.
Can I have one?
Can you answer a riddle for me?
Sure. Maybe.
I
Let's
was
try.
actually gonna go behind him and start doing that. But then I'd be looking at the behind the DN screen. I can close my eyes. I'll do it.
Why don't you tell me? What day is it?
Shit, I'm asleep.
I don't even know if Christmas is a thing in the goddamn game.
Yes, it is. If
It's
we say it
Christmas
is, it
Eve.
is. I can't remember where that's from.
Yes, it's Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Okay.
Why don't you tell me? How do I look in this gown?
Well, I didn't hear that.
How do I look in this gown? And you're gonna say he has nothing on, no clothes.
Uh-oh, somebody said, do my thing.
Well, I don't see a gown on you.
As you end up saying, all the eyeballs just immediately fixate on you.
Oh, I thought it was one.
No, there's
Four and then
Oh,
one
shit.
giant one.
Oh, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
And you're out.
I'm out. Just gone.
You're out.
Fucking sucks. Oh, hey guys.
That's the fun of.
That's what
That's the fun of beholding again.
What is your gift?
I insulted someone.
Who did you insult?
How dare you?
I mean, did
I didn't technically insult. They asked.
they deserve it?
I mean, I was just honest.
Oh, well.
They asked how their gown was, and they weren't. It wasn't really a. It wasn't it. I don't know.
Why
exactly
didn't you
what it
just
was.
take it and take a gift?
I
Rookie
didn't have
mistake.
time. It looked at me and teleported me out.
Did it just say you were ugly or something? Or?
It said wrong. Was the last word I heard.
Well, get back in there.
I believe in you,
All right.
mate.
Listen, man, we all have to have gifts in order to live.
So, going to you two. So, you two are in a unique predicament. So, you are both able to either challenge one of them to try to steal one of their gifts in combat, or go to another room. You guys are at full health, by the way. So, all your spell slots and everything, too.
I would like. Is it my turn now?
It is your turn. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Top of the
So-
initiative order.
And coming off of this is 5, correct?
Yes.
25, 30, 35, 40.
Wait, where are you
45,
going?
50, 55, 60.
Hey, what did she have to do? Why is she back?
She said she found Ted. I don't believe her.
So you got the mold by out,
I
man.
don't believe her.
I'm old, apparently.
That was
Very
a dash
quickly.
action, so that is my
What's
All
your
right.
movement?
Going to Kai.
30, so dash is 60.
I want to dash right in front of her to get in front of that door.
Okay. Can you make it?
I have 30.
5, 10,
So it should be the exact
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. You can just get in front of her.
Okay, there you go.
Hey, so what's in here?
And
Just
and
say nothing.
in the room you're standing in front of?
Yeah.
I don't know. What was in your room?
Like a big eye with 4-eyed tentacle things. I thought it was Zatu for a second. I realized there was 4 of them. Instead they had eyeballs instead of just suction cups. And then she asked me a couple questions. I got one right and I got one wrong and I got teleported out. It might have been a guy, it might have been a girl, I don't know. But it was 4 eyeballs. I heard you had an owl bear.
Yeah.
I think I'm better with animals.
You're not wrong. But yeah, I think it might be Ted. I don't know. I saw it in his eyes. To me,
Zatu didn't seem to think so.
Zatu didn't
Can you
see
give me a
him.
drink while you're
I
out?
was the only one that
What?
saw
Can you
him.
give me a drink while you're out?
What do you want?
Anything?
Are you gonna go back in?
Scoop out of the toilet.
Ew. What was that?
I was basically coming over to ask, are you going back in your room or not?
I don't know yet. Do you want to try to talk to the owlbear and I go try something else, or
It's up to you. I mean, you want to try to go talk to the owlbear? That's fine. It seemed like it didn't work for you the first time.
yeah,
I
no.
don't think it's a cat.
I'm gonna go try this room over here. So it's my turn again?
Mhm.
No? Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Just stand right in front of the door as my
Is it a door or is it
It's like a
A
stone
stone.
wall. No, she can't see into it.
I'm gonna go in. I'm assuming it's my turn.
It's just us now. They've
Yep.
all got
Well,
it.
I'm. Does going into the room still count as like that it ends the turn?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna go in this room.
Okay, so end of combat going to you. All right, as you end up walking inside that room, you end up seeing an owlbear that's kind of off, and you end up hearing a little jingle around its neck.
How big is that owl bear compared to black bear?
It's a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger. What about dire wolf?
Say that again?
Dire wolf.
Dire wolf.
Yeah.
Dire wolf.
It's
Direwolf. I heard wolf.
it's probably in
Wolf.
probably kind of a similar size. I'd say you're closer to it with a black bear.
I'm going to.
Shadow.
Pass that in.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Charlotte. What's up? I'm gonna I'm gonna first cast Speak with Animals to try to talk to it,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say, don't worry, I'm not gonna try to give you I didn't know that. That doesn't work. I'm not the same person that you just saw.
It can respond to you, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Is it a monstrosity?
What did you say?
Um,
Cat? What did you
Speak with animals.
Speak with animals? Yeah, it should be able to. I think it's just a. Yeah, it has to be a beast.
I don't think it's a beast. I think it's a monstrosity.
Yeah.
A beast. Beast can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they do. So was that worrisome?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a monstrosity.
Well, that was worthless then. So it's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, it's not gonna do anything.
Awesome. So I wasted a spell slot. Nice. Okay. Well, I'm gonna realize there's no response, and I'm just going to.
Yeah, it is a monstrosity.
I'm gonna bonus action into a black bear,
Okay.
and then I'm going to move towards it. And I'm sorry, brown bear. I should say.
Brown bear.
Yeah,
Okay.
brown bear. That's what I wanted.
What? Do you
Um,
want some?
and my movement is speed is 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna get up to it and attack it.
You're gonna attack the owlbear.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the first time I actually get to attack as my druid.
Heck yeah.
That's great.
It was all a dream.
So I'm basically using multi-attack.
Good luck. Let's do it.
You don't have a bear, do you?
Am I rolling just
Not right now.
D20 on this?
I'm gonna print out the
roll a
stuff you want.
d20 first to hit.
I didn't like this one. Let's go with 19 to hit.
19's gonna hit.
Okay. So multi-clat, one with a bite and one with claws. So bite is melee weapon plus 6 to hit. So hit is 8. Can I just do that on here? Attack is melee.
I think you just roll a d8 and then add the +4 to it.
Pyramid.
Do it.
Okay.
It's the pyramid ass
Double
ass.
pyramid, yeah.
It's the pyramid ass ass
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm holding the dice. What do you mean? Why do you keep saying the same shit? 8 plus 4. So that's 12.
12 damage.
Yeah.
Oof. Ouch. As you end up kind of coming through with the claw, you're gonna end up
Well, that's the
saying,
bite.
That's the bite.
or the
That's
bite.
the
Sorry,
bite.
as you end up coming with the bite, you're gonna end up kind of like grabbing onto its neck and pulling a couple feathers, and you hear.
Okay, so my next attack basically comes in with 2d6s.
What?
3 plus 4. So 7.
What was the attack?
Yeah. Did you roll another attack for it?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, what was your attack
I
roll?
thought it was the same one. Just
No, it multi-attacks you for roll
15.
for each time. 15 is gonna hit. Yep.
Yeah.
plus 6, so 21.
21. Yep. So that's gonna hit. So now what was your
So
damage?
3 plus 4 is 7.
7. Ouch. Okay.
Nice.
All right. Go on to the owlbear. So the owlbear is gonna immediately turn on you. Is gonna end up standing up on both of its hind legs, just looking way, way larger than you now as it kind of like stands fully upright. You're going to end up seeing as he seems to come down and slash hard with his claws.
Okay.
That's going to end up being a...
11 armor class.
Is it different as a bear?
Yeah, so
Yeah, it is.
that's going to actually end up being a 12. That hits.
Oh, you barely.
So then,
Barely.
Barely.
Ah!
Got it.
so that's going to end up being 5 plus 11 slashing damage.
11. Okay.
Yep. And then you're going to watch as after it does that, you're going to see it kind of come down with almost like a headbutt motion with its beak. And that's going to miss. That one's going to be a 9. All right. Going back to you.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna multi-attack again, basically.
Okay.
Way over there.
I'm just gonna roll 2. 3. Let's go with that one's my bite. That one's my claw.
Yep.
So that'd be a 5 plus 6, 11 on the bite.
Bite doesn't hit.
Okay, it's gonna be 9 plus 6, so 15.
15 hits on the
Okay.
strike.
So it's gonna be 2d6s. Like an 8 damage.
8 damage. All right. The owlbear is looking pretty bloody.
Okay.
All right. So the owlbear is going to immediately turn around and is going to basically try to do the same thing, except for it's going to try to kind of like grapple you to an extent as it slashes.
Okay.
So that is going to end up being a. That's going to end up being a 11 to hit with the claws.
I have my
And-
armor class is 11.
Yep. So that's 11 to hit with the claws, and that's going to be a 10 to hit with the beak. So the beak's going to miss, but the claws are going to hit.
Okay.
And the claws are going to end up being 10, 15 slashing damage.
15 slashing damage. 23 minus 15 is 8. Sure. Yeah, 8.
Oh.
I got 8 left.
It's
It's
eight.
8.
Okay.
I'm not
It's 8.
doing
I got
that.
8 left.
Back to you, sir.
Same thing.
Same thing. Back at it again with the bad plans.
Give him the old 1-2.
Bite's gonna miss. It's 11 again.
Yep, that misses.
8 plus 6 is 14.
14 hits.
Okay.
That is a strong hit there, buddy.
Let's go with you. Oh.
No, he's not really in
It bounced into the side. Does that count?
No.
Okay.
said other by
4 plus 4 is 8 again.
8 again. All right. Let me do some math really quick. Just double check. Okay. Yeah, it's looking pretty banged.
Okay.
Pretty banged up. All right, coming back. Now the owlbear is going to end up coming up, and it seems like it's really pissed off now. As you see, like all these claw marks going across its body, and that bite mark that you left in its neck, and it goes ahead and kind of just like leans back a little bit, and then lunges into this next set of attacks. So that is going to end up being a 15 to hit and a 19 to hit.
Fuck. Okay, he's gonna hit both.
So that is going to end up being 10 slashing damage with the claws, and as it ends up coming down with the beak, that's
So
going to
long,
end
so
up
long.
being a total of 12 piercing damage.
So that's a total of how much damage combined?
Yeah, you're going to make me do math again?
Yeah.
So 12,
I mean,
So my question is, if the first one knocks me out of shapeshift,
yeah.
The rest of the damage goes into your regular
correct.
health
Well,
base.
yeah, but that initial attack rolls over. But does that second attack then change? Like, because I will drastically change size, and
It's still-
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So if the first one would have knocked you in a different shape, then
Right.
yes. So the
so,
second...
so the first one knocks me into my different shape, which
Yeah.
I would take 2 damage onto that.
Yeah, right, so you're saying you have a new armor class is what you're saying.
Probably lower.
It's still low. It's low. I'm still gonna hit, but I'm wondering, does it still hit because I changed, or does
Yes,
it
it
miss?
still hit.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
still hits because it would still hit your armor class.
Okay, so I got hit for
Or
what was the second one?
an overlay of 2 and then 12.
Okay.
All right, back to you.
All right, so he's gonna now see me back in my form, and I'm going to turn right back into another bonus action.
gotta love him. Gotta love him.
And I'm gonna finish.
I'm imagining like Naruto, where it's like all the shadow color gone. It's like, huh?
Oh no!
Oh wait.
Alright.
So I'm back as a full health brown bear. With to multi attack again.
Alright.
Do this one. God, that misses.
You need more dice, man.
I keep switching. Like,
I have a whole dice set spots right
8 plus 6 is 14.
14 hits.
Yep. And then 2d4. Or I'm sorry, 2d6s. You have the right one. I just called it the wrong thing. Oh, 12 plus 4, which is 16.
That's a damage?
Yeah.
Jeez,
I rolled
okay.
2 6s plus 4.
He looks really banged up. Alright.
He's been like that for a while.
Like he looks like he's on like his last couple breaths.
Alright, okay. I mean, that's all I can do.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Alright.
Just killed you!
What?
So this owlbear, as it kind of like seems to like be limping a little bit, you're gonna end up seeing as he kind of starts kind of like walking back into the corner and starts leaving your range.
Which one? Opportunity to attack?
The corner over there, yeah, you have an opportunity to attack.
I mean, so what? How would that work with the bear?
You just
It's
get
a standard opportunity. You don't get your multi attack. You just get.
Yeah, you just get one attack.
Do it. So my question is
Oh, is
like 18.
Hi, Gil.
So I mean, the question is, what do
If
I
you're
just
awake.
pick which one I wanted to do? The bite
Yep.
of the. I mean, I'm gonna do the bite realistically.
Okay.
What?
Gonna bite its ass.
Try to.
I
Bite
think
it.
I think
Get right on in there.
I think the claws would be better. We do the claws.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna attack with the claws.
Yep. So what was the roll?
It was 18 plus 6.
Yeah, that's gonna hit. So.
So
Looks like coffee.
2d6s. Let's grab you two again. 6 plus 4 is 10.
6 plus 4 is 10. And as you end up coming through and swiping right up there on that back leg up the thigh, you're going to end up seeing as the owlbear just kind of collapses and falls forward. Right over there as it kind of like walked over towards the tree. Yeah.
Is it dead?
It's dead.
So I want to look at it and make sure is it dead or not? Because I've seen
You can
Ted
tell
in a
it's
catch.
not Ted. Yeah,
Okay.
you can tell it's not Ted.
Well, you
Okay.
saw a owlbear.
It was,
Well,
it
that's
was,
true.
it was a
That's-
small owlbear too. So
Okay.
this one's a pretty large owlbear.
So I look around. Do I see anything? I mean, is there any presents or is it...
You don't see anything immediately, no.
So I'm gonna go.
You can roll investigation.
Yeah, I mean that's what I want. Sure, let's do that. 14.
Okay, you're not going to end up seeing anything too obvious, but you're going to end up seeing that there's actually like owlbear tracks kind of going back behind that tree, almost like it's been pacing that way.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk back behind the tree.
And as you get over behind that tree, you're going to end up seeing a present just sitting right there behind the tree.
Alright. I mean, I walk over and pick it up.
Okay, so as you end up picking up this present, you're going to end up.
I'm still a bear, so I
You are
actually
still a
pick
bear.
it up.
But you want to pick it up with your
I want
mouth.
to pick it up with my mouth.
Okay.
And then
So as you end
I
up picking it up with your
transform
mouth,
as a bear.
you're gonna end up kind of feeling like you're gonna feel like the sensation kind of going through you, almost like all of a sudden you're mounted on the wall almost to a degree, like you're inside of like a cabin, but you end up staying inside the cabin. You're able to see like as you're mounted on the wall in the cabin, and you see families walking in and people coming and time passing, and people sitting on the couch laughing and playing their instruments and their lutes and everything, and drinking their ales and having a good old time. And you see Christmas trees come and fall until eventually there is no more, and you find yourself back over there.
Am I still a bear?
You are still a bear.
Nice.
What the hell?
I throw Zatu at it.
What the heck?
As I gently rip this open with my teeth. As I put it down like it's a chew toy, and like I'm clawing it like gently open.
This music
Tearing
is
it out.
perfect for that.
You gonna roleplay it or?
No.
I'm gonna go back too much to drink.
Uh oh. Is that bear opening a present?
Yes.
I
Jeez.
don't know how easy that is to open.
Yeah,
I have my knife just in case.
Here's the...
You could use your teeth.
I'll was trying to make sure I wasn't gonna like rip the wrong thing. So I see stickers.
Stickers always nice.
Oh, okay. This might actually be good for me.
What is it? Oh, that's actually that's funny. Actually, you do need that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Plus,
So he got
he
a dice holder, which is kind of perfect for a white elephant thing related to a D&D group, and also got some complimentary dragon stickers.
That's the best part.
That is the best part.
I didn't even know those.
Are
were gonna
those
come with
temporary
it.
tattoos or are they stickers?
I think they're stickers.
I think they're stickers.
They look like
They're
stickers.
Oh,
So
that
very
would've
nice.
taken it to the next level.
Okay, so then I go and I transform back into Kai. I'd be like, and then pick these up and be like, oh hey guys.
You did it the whole time.
Shabby.
Yeah, I'm a druid.
Did you not remember him turning?
I turned into a bird. I turned into a spider. What else do you want me to fucking turn into?
Lots
Yeah,
of right
you
there.
turned into-
Bentonov, I don't think I was there.
Yes,
Oh,
you
I know
were.
he wasn't. No,
I
he
wasn't
was
there for
gone.
that session.
Yeah, she was.
Oh,
That was
I,
when
like
he
I
was-
said, I don't remember that.
Well, I'm a druid.
oh, that's
by the
right.
way.
Yeah, because you went off with Hilda back to this.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Very good.
Yes, he's druid. He turns into animals. You get used to it.
I should be looking down, realistically, because
Yeah.
I'm 6'4".
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, remember the time you tried to like smack me a while ago? Remember, I can literally put you in my mouth when I turn into a bear.
All right. Going to you, Alina. So you're standing there in front of this last door.
I would like to see if I can open it.
Okay. So as you end up kind of like feeling around the door, I want you to go ahead and roll investigation.
Can you not do that?
I could, but it's okay.
6 + 5. 11.
Okay. So as you end up kind of feeling around the door, you're going to end up feeling that one of the actual rocks in the door kind of shifts when you press onto it. And then the door just kind of retracts into the ground.
Okay.
Oh, here you go, breaking doors.
Oh, sorry. I got it.
Oh.
Are they supposed to be down? No. I'm gonna go with their King Tuts.
And it looks like there's a couple skeletons just kind of standing around this one skeleton that seems to be locked into this little centerpiece.
Okay. I would like to enter the room
Okay.
and cast Magic Missile
Okay.
on all 3 of them.
Go ahead.
Are the skeletons enjoying their Christmas too?
D4s are these, correct?
Yes, the triangles. The pyramids.
So it's 1, but it's 3 missiles. So
If you're just casting it at a first level, it's just 3.
yeah. So one of them gets 5 damage, another gets 4 damage, and then the other gets 3.
Okay.
It doesn't. What are you talking about?
You pull it and it closes.
Yeah, it's just a
You
draw.
said 4, 4, and 3?
It's essentially
5,
the same
4, and
thing as
3.
this
5,
bag,
4, and
just
3.
slightly different.
I believe. I already put them away.
Yeah, 5, 4, and 3.
Sorry.
Okay.
That has that.
So
makes
as you
both
end up doing
systems.
that, you're going to end up saying all the skeletons immediately
And
kind
that
of
one actually has
turn
one extra
and start
pocket.
kind of walking over towards
This
you.
one has like more. The
Okay.
center one. Yeah.
So it's going to be...
Love light.
As my bear is like put it on.
And that last one in the middle, you're going to see him kind of trying to walk out, but it seems like he's struggling to move.
Okay.
And they're going to go ahead and make an attack against you.
And you die.
Okay, so the first one is going to go ahead and come at you with a short sword, and that is going to be a hard miss, I'm pretty sure, because that's going to be a 9.
That misses.
Yeah, and then the second one was an 11.
Misses.
Okay, so you're going to end up seeing as both of these short swords end up like basically just jabbing through both your sides. You just kind of like kind of just whoop, and you end up seeing both of them just kind of jab all the way through as they kind of like catch a little bit of your dress as you turn.
In that case, I would like to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
So I have that going. That is an action. So I will. I don't think I have any bonus actions.
But you have shield, remember? So if they do attack you. Reaction, shield.
Oh yeah. I guess that will be it for now.
Okay. All right. Going to the next turn. So you're gonna end up seeing that both of those skeletons right in front of you are gonna end up coming through again with these two short swords, but they're gonna end up basically doing the same jab maneuver at the same time again, just to see what happens. So at first you don't succeed, try again. So that one of them is gonna be a 9, and the other one is gonna end up being a 15. So that one should hit.
No, not with my.
All right, so we're doing the same thing again.
Yeah.
You're gonna be just kind of like dancing. Like these two are gonna come through, and they're coming up a little higher this time. So you're just gonna kind of like squat down as it comes through.
Great.
As this happens, you're gonna end up hearing a little bit like a Christmas carol that's kind of echoing through here as you're doing an interpretive dance, just kind of maneuvering around the skeletons. It's basically you hear like an echoing kind of like frozen like sound coming from the back end of the chamber.
Do the spinning blade.
Like what's on right now.
Okay. So it's my turn now.
Joyous
Correct.
day.
All right. I would like. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cast Sword Burst,
Okay.
which is a cantrip.
Okay.
So that is 1d6 damage. If they succeed on a dex save.
See on a deck save?
Yeah.
That's gonna be that's a 1, so that's an automatic fail. That's gonna for a dex. They have +2. So that's gonna be a 13 and then a 1.
You have to. Yeah, dex
Dex
save
save
of
of
13.
13.
Okay, so 1 passes, 1 fails.
Alright, so then. No.
No, if he
It was a
succeeds,
cantrip.
he won't
Yeah.
take damage.
Yeah, for the cantrip, it's not gonna be half.
Alright, so it's just the one that's
Oh,
gonna
I
take
just realized
damage then. 5 damage on the one.
5 damage on the 1. Okay.
Well, I thought this was a spell that pushed him back too. I guess not.
All right, so as you end up hitting the 5 damage with your spinning sword, the one is just gonna kind of burst into a pool of just bones flying everywhere as one of them dies. The one on the right's gonna die.
Look at Charlotte. Doing that.
Okay.
You weren't on purpose, but
I guess that'll be it for that turn.
Okay. And then the other one, you're gonna see him in the middle as he tries to kind of like fight and get out, but he's still failing to get out. The other one's just gonna stand there again and go for another lunge with the sword. That's gonna be another 9.
Misses.
Yep.
Alright.
Swap that dice out.
So I would like to cast Magic Missile again.
Okay. The magic missile hit even if it's a point blank. You might have to move away.
It says range 120 feet.
Right, but you're casting a spell at close range. Casting a spell at close range and casting or shooting a bow at 5 feet away would also do it
It says within range.
I'll say
It says
for,
you create three glowing darts of magical force.
I'll
each-
just say for right now you're fine. I'll
Okay.
just make a DM call and say it's fine for right now.
Okay.
I'll research it again later.
Alright. And I'm just gonna cast it at first level again.
Okay, let's do it.
So.
How many are you shooting at what?
So I'm gonna shoot 2 at that guy and
2 in the
then
middle?
1
Okay.
at this one.
Okay.
So that's 2 5s and a 3.
2 5s?
Yes.
So
3.
10 on 1.
Mhm.
Okay. So the one in the center you're going to end up seeing basically just kind of like collapse into a pile of bones inside that little well that he's standing in. And the other one's going to be 3.
Yes.
And that other one looks like you kind of just ended up shooting off a little bit of what was his elbow and a little bit of his femur. It kind of just blew off part of his body.
The guy in the center.
This one?
All right, the skeleton, though, kind of being the last one there, is going to go ahead and go in with the old reliable short sword. As that short sword ends up coming through, that one rolled out. We're going to take it.
No.
It was a solid roll. It was on the table. I don't know if this is even going to hit, though, because you have mage armor on. So that's going to be a 15.
Nope.
Okay, I don't think that guy's hit you once.
Nope.
So he's gonna come in again. You're gonna interpretive dance around this kind of like doing the nutcracker around as you dodge the short sword attack. And your turn.
Okay, I will just do sword burst again,
Okay.
and that is 1d6.
Deck save. Oh, that's cocked.
Dex save of 13.
Failure.
3 damage.
3 damage. And as that 3 damage ends up coming through, you're gonna end up seeing the skeleton basically end up losing everything on its neck as the head just kind of dangles there. And you're gonna end up seeing him holding the sword off to the sides. His neck's just kind of dangling. And he's missing a little bit of his arm and a little bit of his leg. Basically just kind of hobbling there. It looks like he's on literally his last leg.
But
All right. So he's going to go ahead and come in with the old reliable...
Trips and goes
I can't. Oh my god.
Please.
What?
Did he really just come?
No.
No.
Oh.
He misses.
I miss again.
Oh.
It's a 9 again. I can't not roll 4s here. Like, what is that? No, sorry, not 4s, 5s. My modifier is a 4. Okay. So we go ahead and we start getting into the final act of the Nutcracker as you gracefully get out of the way of the sword.
And cast another sword burst.
All right. Let's watch this one fail, right? Yeah. All right, cool.
3.
Yep. So as that 3 comes in, you end up kind of like gracefully going off for your final coup de grace of this final move as you kind of start taking a bow. These swords start coming out as the audience claps and echoes across the chamber. And the clapping really isn't people clapping. It's just all these swords hitting the bones very vigorously and echoing across the hall. And as that happens, you watch as it just poofs up into smoke. And it almost seems like the bone dust is just snow falling all over you as you come to the final end of your dodging.
Wow, it's so beautiful.
All right. What do you want to do?
Christmas me or
I guess just start searching the room.
Okay. Doesn't really look like there's anything in the room other than that well.
I would like to approach the well.
Okay. So as you approach the well, you're going to end up looking inside and seeing what looks like just a bunch of exploded bones. But then underneath those bones, you're going to end up seeing some of the bones were actually like kind of chained into the base. But then in the base itself, you're going to end up seeing a present.
No, never mind.
I'd like to grab the present.
Okay. So as you lean in to grab the present, you're going to end up grabbing it as you kind of feel yourself getting sucked in. As you end up doing that, you're going to end up feeling yourself kind of going down this pipe and almost like you're kind of sledding and going through, and you're going to end up kind of like having this flash of light happen. And as it happens, you're holding this present, you're going to end up seeing yourself going down slopes and kind of cutting left and right as you kind of like just turning a little bit with your arm, trying to keep grabbing this present and dodge the trees. So eventually you end up coming down to the base, and it seems like the snow's just kind of getting all over your face, and all of a sudden you kind of come to and wipe the snow off of your eyes, and you find yourself in the center of the respawn.
Can't reach.
What are you trying to do? Sorry.
Come back over
Okay, there you go.
I need a hat.
Oh, sorry, Santa.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, ho, 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 ho. What do we have here? Did everyone get a present?
I haven't yet.
Seems you might have lost it. Luckily for you, Santa actually frequents the slopes. And you're going to end up seeing him reach inside of the bag and saying, I think you left that at the base of the mountain.
Yeah.
Here's a $300.
I mean, you did just go through a bunch of bones.
So there's 2 in here, so one of them is...
For you, and the other one's for Mr. Daly.
Oh. So what if that would have went to another person?
Wow!
They would have given them to their
Significant other.
Yeah.
What is it?
Very nice. 2 wallets.
Yeah.
Ooh, very nice.
Go.
Show it
I will
off.
show them off. So we have a very fashionable New York City style wallet with the magnetic.
Money clip. It's
Magnetic money
RFID.
clip.
So
RFID.
we'll run all your cards.
There you go.
And then we also have the also very nice fossil wallet pouch. Wallet money pouch? I don't know what that is. Is that a clip? That's a clip. It's a clip. It's a clip. It has a clip on it. Very nice. The couple's exclusive fossil kit.
That's ironic. Did you plan that?
No,
No, I didn't.
he gave them to me, and I rolled dice to determine which ones are going to which round. So.
Did anybody get their own?
I don't think so, actually. I have whatever the last one is.
I think that's
Well,
nice.
there. It seems like everyone got their present.
Where's your
Well, yeah.
present,
What about you,
Santa?
Jolly Saint Nick?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Yeah.
I want his head! First, you gotta be known, I want his head.
My friend, you see this little spectator kind of coming out. Hey, what is it? How you doing, Santa? Well, it would seem everyone in here has gotten the present except for me. Oh, that's right, Santa. That's right. That's right.
Not all four at once.
The center one.
Five.
The center one.
Just don't compliment the gown.
You look marvelous in your dress, by the way. Oh, thank you, Santa.
I agree.
Santa. Why, yes, there. What do you think about me giving you a hug? Well, that will be the creepiest and most charming event of the evening. Oh, yay! And you see the spectator just kind of go in there and have all of the tentacles and the eyes just kind of hugging around Santa. And they seem like the eyes kind of go around the back of his head as they're kind of looking back at you as he's hugging Santa. And you end up saying that Santa ends up getting a lovely gift sitting there on his lap. Dropped by the spectator. I get to open something, guys. Ho, 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 ho. Well, what do we have here? It's...
Wait a minute.
Well, that's just fucking funny. Guess I'll die.
Raise it up just a little bit.
That is hilarious.
That's
that's
fantastic.
great. Well, happy holidays to all of you.
And to you, Santa.
And a Merry Christmas.
We got a challenge.
Thanks, Santa. Fight.
I'm good with my gifts.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, I mean, nobody wants to fight.
Well, and a Merry Christmas to all. And to all a good night. Alright, guys. So that is actually going to do it for our session 0 / holiday
Attempt.
special.
Oh, okay.
So I hope everyone had fun. I know I sure did. I'm pretty sure you guys did as well. So a little bit of an introduction, as it turns out, to one, how I kind of run these D&D sessions. This was kind of weird when it came to combat, just because we kind of did a special thing for the White Elephant, just kind of having these separate rooms and everything. Normally combat would be a lot faster. It slows down a little bit when we start having these 1v1 scenarios and everything. But we all got some pretty cool gifts for each other. We all got to do it, got to have some fun. You got to see a little bit of the role playing, a little bit of people's personalities, and I know I'm looking forward to having you guys see a lot more of that. So tune in. We're not going to have anything though until the new year. I'll go in there and I'll actually change the calendar for the Twitch. So be on the lookout. Beginning of the new year, every Tuesday we'll be streaming D&D, and we'll also have additional sessions happening. So those one shots or little things where we'll talk about the lore of the world or how I create combat in different scenarios. Also, remember, if you are a follower, when we actually get to the point that we're affiliate and we can take subscribers will also be able to have additional entries, so to speak, for the free stuff that I'll be giving away. Basically, 3D printed objects and things like that that we'll send you guys in the mail. So be on the lookout for that. Excited for future sessions. Anyone want to shout anything out? Final words? Final thoughts?
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, everyone, have a very, very happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, an amazing New Year, and we will be seeing you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Take care.
Happy holidays.
Bye. Have a nice time.